Red Summer,
Yeah.
Red Pillar, Scorpion King. Let's get it. Dear Summer, it's the Mr. November, the Deer Hunter. It's the one and only. That's right. Who turn the copper when the sun is on me? Mister, never got a number, and the number phony. Mister, I was off the market, hot girls spent their summers lonely. I'm calling out devils by their name like Michael Jackson in front of Sony. With little Uzis and cannons and drama, I'm another Coney. Shooters get the bone bracelets, the little brothers bony. Just like my mama told me, tenderonis trying to give a son to Yoni. T-O-N-Y, I'm looking like another Tony. Fighting the urges, the night of the purgers. At the height of inertia, they grew at the height of the servers. When the red lights ignited in Persia, fervor. At the sight of the mergers, the spirits performing, they lyrics is pouring. I'm hearing the foreigns. They say that they woke, but I'm hearing them snoring. We want the woke, like Charlemagne the God, envy and ye. We want all the smoke. We descendants of Indian chiefs. We loyal to a fault. In these streets with ease on my feet. They see the God and they envying me. And all the royals in the court. There's some NBCs and loyals to the court. Started salting and killing, altering feelings, altered beasts and alternate buildings. All for the love of drug dealing. Had us toiling and tilling in the soil and the salt. Had us drilling by the millions so they could burn all the oil from the vault. Now the earth is shaking and we sitting here boiling the fault. They know that I'm greedy and gluttonous. Dashiki is buttonless. The way to go, made to go. Rocket in the pocket like Jada Flow. Snowman niggas said that they made us know. See them in the freezer off at Trader Joe. The traders know. They put us in the dirt, yeah, they made us grow. Like Mr. Potato Nose. Operation Red Nose, yeah, they made us glow. The haters know who killed Malcolm X, yeah, the traitors know. Yeah, the traitors know. You are now witnessing the ruthlessness of an Afro-futurist. Scorpion King from Pluto where future is. Beast Mobile, Bixby and Lufarig. The rings are sagged on the fingers of some ruthless kids. Took them a ringer like chicken fingers on some ruthless shit. Doors lift like the wings of dragons on some ruthless whips. Hoops and shit. Autonomously move through strips. No hands like the brains on a toothless chick. Flying in the planes, the ship break Lucas bricks. It through like lubricant. Putrament, heat putrefying like 2%. This is Jesus Christ Superstar on some nutriment. We want all the smoke in the hookah set and all of the accoutrements. Drop the location, the Uber set.
To this day.
Yes, sir. All right. There you have it, y'all. Right off of that Red Summer album. That's the intro called Dear Summer. All right. First and foremost, salute to everybody who has supported the album. I appreciate every single one of y'all. You know I'm talking about. Y'all definitely have made that album platinum in these streets. You know what I mean? So before the summer is over, you know, mark my words, we're going to make a few movies and get that out there to y'all, you know, because these songs definitely need their visual component. So we'll be working on that. Pardon the visuals for tonight, but we're going to do it like this. We're going to go audio only. We're not going to do the visual component and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to do the audio. So hopefully that's okay with y'all. All right. So before we do anything, we have to begin with the roll call. We got to do the roll call. We have to tap in and you know, we got to tap in and make sure that we know who's in the building. All right. So I see Harlem is in the building. Salute to Harlem in the building. All right. Shout out to Harlem in the building. All right. Peace and love to the fam. We got town business in the building. Salute to the town business. All right. We see you. Okay. Dallas, Texas. I see you. The BX, Colorado. All right. Is that Minnesota? Portland on the tap in. All right. Salute to you, Portland. Jersey. Snellville. All right. That's near Stone Mountain, right? Snellville in the building. Somebody said No to Ledge Radio is back. Yeah, that's the feeling, right? That's the feeling. I do believe that we're gonna take the podcast approach in the near future, which will also be audio and visual. But I'll let y'all know what it is. But yeah, it is what it is. 816 Kansas City in the building, Compton in the building, H-Town in the building, Massachusetts is in the building, Chicago in the building, Cobb County in the building, Mississippi in the building. It's like 100 degrees where I'm at. You feel me? I got the lights out. It's mad dark. I don't want no lights on. I don't want to stare at no cameras. You know what I'm saying? I just want to vibe if that's okay with y'all. You know what I mean? Trenton, New Jersey. If you want to know how I look, just go to my Instagram page if it means that much. But you know, it is what it is. Atlantis is in the building. Salute to you, Atlantis. I see you. East New York. Okay. Hide your chains. East New York is in a building. What's popping? Hold on. I need to get the machine gun the sound effects. We working on the AK sound effects for all of my for Brownsville, Mondem, and the East and the Chirackers. You know what I mean? We got to get y'all sound effects. Okay, Hartford is in the building. All right. Salute to the Hartford family. The NO is in the building. All right. Salute to the NO. What's popping? Syracuse. All right. I see you, Sharif. Islam. What's good with you, my good brother? We got to get you on the show. We bringing back on Wednesdays. I think we're going to be bringing back the No to Ledge radio, but the YouTube version. So that should be me and Blue Pill. That'll be the weekly show where we'll be interviewing guests and whatnot. Because I know sometimes people get tired of just hearing me. So we're gonna bring that back, and all of the alumni for No to Ledge Radio, we're gonna have to do some rolling out and just do some catching up because a lot of the alumni is out here putting up points and whatnot, and we it's only right that we catch up with the family and just catch ourselves up to date. But peace to you, Inktown, Michigan, Richmond, NO. All right, salute to the NO. Oakland in the building. You already know, home of the Panthers, town business. Rochester 585. What's happening? Okay. That's what's up, man. It's beautiful to see all of the family in the building. I hope that everybody is enjoying the beginning of summer. You feel me? I don't know where I know where all of y'all are at, but where I'm at, there's a heat wave. So for everybody that's going through this heat wave and whatnot, make the best of it. You know what I'm talking about? Because I was saying to wifey earlier, you know what I mean? I was like, look, shit, it's 100 something degrees. You know, the worst thing, we just have to go topless, me and you. You feel me? I'll hold you down. We just gonna go topless if it gets too hot. But I said, imagine if it was below 10 below, right? You know what I mean? Like, what would you rather have? The shit be 110 or to walk outside and it be 10 below? You know what I mean? Sometimes we got to count our blessings. She was like, that makes sense. I see where you're going. I was like, yeah, you could get hot and you'll sweat, but you don't feel like you're about to fucking die. You know what I mean? You step outside and it's 10 below, your whole attitude is going to shift. You're going to be shivering and whatnot. For the men and whatnot, you might shrink up and things of that nature. It's just not cool. I'll do the hot weather over the cold any day. So you ain't gonna find me complaining. We melanated. Niggas talking about going back to the continent. This is a motherfucking dress rehearsal. You know what I mean? How you gonna be in Tanzania, my nigga, and Zimbabwe and whatnot? It's $120 in the daytime. In the shade, my niggas. You know what I'm talking about? It'd be $110 in the shade. So this is just a dress rehearsal. Stay hydrated. You know what I mean. Stay hydrated. Don't eat the fucking chitlins this week. You know what I mean. Let that put the chitlins down. Don't eat too much. Try to do your fruit. Keep it real fruit fasting. Stay off of the K2. You know what I'm saying? All of those heavy chemicals. Stay off of the 6-pack, and you'll be okay. Lighten up. Lighten up. What did Jay-Z say? Intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day type shit. Just stay hydrated, family. Just stay hydrated. It won't be that bad. You walk around in a sauna suit, detoxing in this heat. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This hot weather is going to help release toxins and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with sweating a little bit sometimes. You feel me? Yes, watermelon lime. Watermelon time with some watermelon lime, cold hibiscus tea. You feel me? Remember that good old limeade and lemonade, shit like that. You know what I mean? Melanin no vax type of thing. And you'll be good. I promise you. I shit you not. I will not steer you wrong. I will not steer you wrong. So let's have a conversation. I want to start the show off first and foremost by saying that welcome everybody to another episode of Melanin Monday, episode 161, my friends. I pray that everybody that's on the line is with us in the best mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, and just overall, because it could be rough out here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people going through a lot of things and whatnot. I'm very mindful of that. So I'm just sending out energy, and I'm just extending love and light to anybody out there that's going through whatever they may be going through and whatnot. Just know that the ancestors, and the spirits are there for you. You know what I mean? Just tap in. You feel me? You said it's 104 in Seattle with no AC. Whoo, isn't that shit like high up there and whatnot? Isn't it? The altitude. You know what I mean? When is New York open up fully? July 1st, allegedly. It was 109 in Vegas. That's some dry ass heat too, right? The Vegas heat is serious. The Vegas heat. I was in Arizona. No. Yeah, I was in Phoenix. And that was the hottest I've ever been. I felt the Vegas heat, but the Phoenix heat was the hottest that shit was I was in Arizona. That was the most uncomfortable heat that I've ever felt in my life. We drove through Death Valley and all of that. That shit was it's really Death Valley. Like if somebody have beef with you, they could just put you in a burlap sweater and just put you out on Death Valley right on the highway and just fucking handcuff you to like the bench. You're done, my nigga. With some corduroy pants on and a burlap sweater with a fucking Scully, my nigga, in Death Valley, you're gonna melt like homie from Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know what I'm talking about? Like you're done. You're finito. I went to the store. This was in 91, so mine was eating ice cream. I went to the store. You see how we have to do the vegan disclaimers so niggas don't start making videos on us. I went to the store. We was at the gas station in Death Valley. They say don't even turn on the AC, my nigga, because it's so hot that the car might blow out and whatnot. I go to the store. I grab 2 ice creams. By time, and this is on guard. By the time I get back to the car, the ice cream is milk. That's how real it was. I promise you, if anybody, if it's a friend of me, you riding with it, you're on a motherfucking road trip with a friend of me. This gotta be don't let it be baby mamas or nothing. It have to be somebody that you truly trust. That you'll be like, oh, I'll ride through Death Valley with you. You gotta be real fucking solid with these people because you don't want to ride through Death Valley with somebody that's shaky. They might pull some shit on you. I promise you. Like I said, don't trust it because that was some unbearable heat, bro. I was reevaluating shit. You know what I mean? I had pimples popping up out of nowhere because of the heat, bro. I promise you. A nigga got acne just off the heat. You had an earthquake in the Bay Area. Well, For all of the family in California, especially those in the Bay Area, love and light to y'all. I hope that nothing, that everyone is safe and whatnot. And, y'all pay attention to what's going on with this planet, shit like that. I'm talking about a sister that I know, Stephanie. She just put something up on Instagram where she was talking about the fact that she was in California. She's in California. I probably will go on Instagram right now when we go through I'm gonna go to my page in a minute and show you some stories and whatnot. I'll show you the post that she put up. She kind of called it. She was like, yo, she saw orange lightning and she fucking ran over a possum. The possum was in the middle of the road stuck. So she kind of knew that the earthquake was coming, and then the earthquake came. Those are heat bumps. You see, I'm such a city slicker that I don't even know. I was not prepared for heat bumps. Nobody ever told me that there's such a thing as heat bumps. I've been in the dirty South, in the deep South, my niggas, where my neck was getting at work. You feel me? My neck was turning into a whole nother color based off of the sun being on it like a fucking book bag. The sun was on my neck like a rope, like a Cuban link. You know what I'm talking about? I couldn't even dodge the sun. It was just on my neck. And I didn't get heat bumps then. So going to the West Coast, it was a different kind of sun. Like I said, Death Valley is no joke. Death Valley is no joke. You know what I mean? Be easy if you ride through Death Valley. Make sure you riding through there with all of the gas. Don't ride it through there in a Range Rover or any of the cars that are known to break down, because you'll be stuck. You'll be stuck. Somebody said hell is hot. Ask Little Nas. Yeah. Well, that nigga got on his sunscreen because he's obviously not caring about how hot hell is. Okay. I guess we have to talk about him tonight. I don't want to spend too much time on him. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to unsee the shit that I saw last night. And don't ask me why I was watching BET, but nigga, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm guilty. I logged in on that shit. I logged in on my Optimum account right on the internet, and I was partaking in the tomfoolery. You know what I'm talking about? And I can't get those hours back in my life. But we'll talk about that tonight. You know what I mean? We're not gonna do this every year. This is like, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna. These niggas are not gonna trigger me. I'm not gonna allow these niggas to trigger me. So I'm not gonna stand on it. I'm not gonna stay on it all night. We're gonna breeze through that shit, and then we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. Because that's what they want to do. They said they want to trigger the hoteps. And the hoteps are triggered. You know what I'm talking about? The hoteps are triggered. You know? The hoteps are triggered. You know? But, in the community, they be like, Red, you need to have an open mind. You feel me? You need to be a little more open. You know what I mean? You need to be a little more accepting and whatnot. So then I saw the show was dedicated to the black woman. Something had came across my feed, and it was like, yo, they're gonna dedicate tonight to the goddesses. So I was like, shit, I got time for that. You know what I'm talking about? I got time for that. I got time for that. I want to see some of the goddesses. I want to see the black woman. They've been kicking ass in the Olympic trials. Black woman is on a run right now. You know what I'm talking about? Stocks is all the way up. So I was like, yeah, let me tap in. And I wish I didn't. I could have did with the highlights. You know what I'm talking about? I could have did with the highlights. But that shit is crazy. That shit was crazy. Your coworker followed you on IG. That's funny when they say that. The hoteps. The hoteps was ready to ride out. Oh man. The hoteps are somewhere in Death Valley right now. They're somewhere in Vegas because Death Valley looks like Egypt. You know what I mean? It's a lot of sand and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's missing is the pyramids. But there's a lot of they are gathering their fucking troops somewhere in Death Valley. You know what I mean? And they're passing out Xerox flyers of Little Nas's face. And niggas is dusting off the motherfucking magic carpet. You know what I mean? They're getting their chariots ready, and they're gonna ride in on Hollywood one day and burn Tinseltown down. They're gonna look for that little dude and pay him back what the fuck he did, dancing around in the Medunetter. You know what I mean? He was disgracing the hieroglyphics, and he was doing some fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So he has to pay for that. You know what I mean? He did it in front of the Eye of Horus. I can't even wear my copper hat with the Eye of Horus no more. Bad enough when I go to Atlanta rocking the Ankh. You know what I'm talking about? Them niggas is looking at me like, is this Big Nas X or something? Because the Ankh has been co-opted. And they be saying Hotep niggas, but they don't win. They already co-opted the Ankh like years ago. That was the first thing to go. They ran with the Ankh. They was running with that. That was their symbol. They took that. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's midnight. It's midnight. I'm sure all of your favorite channels, all of your YouTube, your YouTubians, and all of your IG friends and family, I know that they talked about this today. So whatever I'm gonna say is not gonna be anything that you ain't already heard. I heard a good dissertation by my good brother Kwame Brown. You know what I mean? Mama's Cooking. He was kind of going off, and he was like, what's up with the agenda, the agenda, bro? Like the sexualization of these young children. But it's like, if we're gonna point at Little Nas X, we also gotta be like, why is what's up with the twerkulator? Because the male artists, right, at the BET Awards, and this is another thing that I've noticed, the male artists fucking suck, bro. Like, I don't know if hip hop male artists have to get a new routine. Maybe it's the shit that they're rapping about. But last night was a glaring example of what may be wrong or what's holding back the industry in a sense. Like Tyler, the creator, right? Who's bisexual, BTW, that doesn't take away anything. I'm just putting that out there. You feel me? I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I mean? I'm no judgment whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I've been covering the rise of Tyler Creator and Odd Future, which was the archetype. I did a lecture with Professor Griff in 2011 in Atlanta, Georgia. They did not record it, so it's really a fucking super duper. It's an NFT. If a nigga got it on his camera phone, he's a legend. But I went in, I did thorough research on the Odd Future movement. It was ASAP Rocky. It was a whole bunch of them that had came out at that time. But I zeroed in on Tyler, right? I zeroed in on him specifically because I was like, he's talented, not to take away from Pro Era with Joey Badass, all of them. I was highlighting all of them, but I was like, this group right here, Our Future, Wolfgang and them, they are going to be around for a long time, and they speak for the motherfucking misfits. They speak for these children, this new generation who are doing everything in their power to troll the older generation that came before it. Right? They're not, you can't even compare them to the Bow Wow Soldier Boy era. That's a different era than the Odd Future era. Right? That's a different era than the Odd Future era. Somebody said he ain't gay. Well, if he's not, he's a hell of a troll. He's a hell of a troll because that's what he says. He said he's bi. In his lyrics, he's talking about, you know what I mean, getting at men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put that, shit. I'm not spreading rumors. I'm not chatty patty. You know what I mean? I'm just giving out the facts. But what I was observing was this young man who was fatherless, right? And he was very talented, but he was lashing out. He was, because when he first came out, he was raving. When he first came out, he was wilding. You know what I mean? The whole Odd Future was wilding. They was popping pills. They was very experimental and whatnot. They was just misfits. And I was like, yeah, he's with somebody say he's with Jaden Smith. You know what I'm saying? So him and Frank, you look, everybody spilling the motherfucking tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. I'm not making it up. This nigga's out there. Jaden Smith claimed him on stage. This nigga's out there. You know what I'm saying? They banned Jamaica in the music biz, and you know what I mean? He's out there. He said he wanted Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? You know? But like I said, I'm not here to judge. I'm only here to smudge. And his performance was crazy. Out of the male artists, I would say that the performance that stood out, because this is about creativity. This is not about standing there like Little Baby and being on stage looking like you're scared. And you know how I feel about Little Baby. You know what I'm saying? He may be the best of the younger of that generation, you know, lyric wise and whatnot, but he's just not a performer. The theatrics. I mean, I'm into performance. You feel me? I'm into performance as an artist. You know what I mean? Like I'm into performance. I like performance. I like the whole aspect of you just don't have to just, you know, you got to do more than just rap. You know what I mean? Like we have to feel that shit. So he kind of put on a type of he put on a show. He put on a show. Somebody said Little Baby sucks. I mean, look, that's all preference. Like, you know what I mean? That's all preference. I mean, you ain't gonna have me arguing about how Little Baby that he's, you know, I don't, you know, that's definitely, if that's how you feel, then you definitely have your own opinion, and I would respect that. You know what I'm saying? I would respect that. You know. And we not gonna get into no back and forths and whatnot. You know what I mean? About who's nice and who's not. But going back to the performances last night, like Tyler kind of was one of the better ones. But the ladies, the sister by the name of Her, right? Her, Jasmine Sullivan, who I think she is so beautiful. Like, I mean, she does something to me. I don't know what it is, but she's gorgeous in my eyes. And also the other sister who was singing with her, she is beautiful as FAF. You know, I don't want to be out here using foul language right now at this moment. Ari Lennox, gorgeous, beautiful. You know, they did a beautiful erotic song. You know what I mean? We're not gonna get all Christian on it. You know what I mean? We're not gonna get all sacrilegious tonight. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm with a little bit of raunchiness. Let's not get it fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, this is still grown man talk. Is it after 12? Yes, after 12. Yeah. This is still grown man talk. I respect adult music. Okay. I respect some adult music. And her album was called Hotels. I didn't listen to it. To be honest with you, I didn't even know she dropped the album. I'm finna go listen to it soon. You know what I mean? Come on, Big Scorpio. That's right. Let that tail out. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just don't want to be, I don't want to be too crazy. Cause it'd be, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to let the Scorpio flag fly too much tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to, you know, I'm walking that tightrope where I'm being respectful. And I was impressed. You know, I was at, you know, who else? I mean, God damn it, the ladies were slamming. The men next to Nas, what's my dude who be singing? What was the group? They was fire. They was fire as hell. What's my nigga that look like a little like the Rock's little brother? Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars. No, not Hotels. It was spelled Hotels. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna put it up there. Hotels. Hotel. And she brought her mom on stage. That shit made me cry. I get all emotional these days. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here eating no soy and whatnot. but it just be certain things that just hit your brother's heart. You know what I mean? And when she brought her mama on stage and she was like, her mama beat cancer and her mama was trying to pass her a note and her mama is all, I was just like, you know what I mean? I started fucking tearing up. Started tearing up. I had to hit myself in the chest like, get it together, nigga. Like, man up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do this. You know? The same thing happened when Queen Latifah got up there with her mama. Well, she brought her daddy on stage. There was a lot of parent love last night, and that's something that I appreciate. You know what I mean? Even with Meg Thee Stallion and the fact that she lost her mother and whatnot, and she's like, you know, I'm doing this for mama, and you know, she thinks about her every day. You know, all of that really spoke to me. It spoke to my heart. You know what I mean? It spoke to my heart. Queen Latifah with her father. I love to see artists respecting their dads. I like to see daddy there. You know what I mean? Like I saw the artist Saweetie with her father on the red carpet, and I was like, you go, dad. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. You know what I mean? And then everybody's play uncle Method Man had the ladies going crazy. You know what I'm talking about, ladies? You saw Method Man with the tank top? Yeah, that's your grandpa, but that's also the uncle at the barbecue that you tell everybody, yeah, he could get it. Yeah. So I was like, Taraji, what's her name? Taraji. She was okay. I didn't get the jokes that she was trying to pull off, but that's for, you know, that might not be for me. You know what I'm saying? That might not be for me. That might be for people who's into Taraji's humor. Because to be honest with you, I didn't even know that she was a motherfucking comedian. You know what I'm talking about? Last time, you know, that's Cookie, right? And she's on Baby Boy. I didn't know that she was a comedian, but whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know? Met the man looking like he's in the gym and eating his Wheaties. Now, Method Man is not a grandpa. He's in his early 30s. Shit. Do you know how early these niggas create seeds and whatnot? He probably had a seed at like 18. Let's go to the Googles and whatnot and see if he's a grandpa. But yeah, he's running around. This niggas at 50 is grandpas. Red alert. Reddit can't buy the 24. I look, shit. Absolutely correct. If I had coupons, I would send you one, my brother. You're absolutely correct. He's 47. Met the man is not 47. You serious? He's not. He's 47. Janet Jackson should have hosted. Does Janet Jackson have hosting energy? Like, is she shy? You have to be kind of out to stand up in front of all of those stiff ass people. I don't think Janet Jackson, she's more of a performer. It's a difference between host and performer. I need you to understand that. Certain people, they they turn and they tap into their Sasha Fierce on stage. They start doing the motherfucker. They hit, they do the Meg Stallion with the knees and whatnot, and then they become a totally different person. Performing when the music comes on, and standing up there and doing the hosting capabilities. This is just two different things. But what I'm saying is, this is what stood out to me immediately. It didn't even take any time. This is what stood out to me immediately. I said, look at this. Here you have, this nigga looks like a motherfucking mummy right here. Method Man. He didn't age. He has well preserved himself. We even with all of that. Remember, look at Method Man and look at Red Man. Okay? And I'm not using comparisons, but God damn it, I'm comparing. But here it is. Method Man is the same age as DMX, right? Method Man is the same age as DMX, okay? DMX made transition, right? Based off of a health issue, okay? And this only speaks to, I'm speaking to the brothers that are listening to me that's 18 right now, because one day your ass is going to be 50. So even if you 18 and you doing yourself a disservice by living on a motherfucking edge and whatnot, because you think that that's cool, listen to somebody who's almost 50 years old letting you know, my nigga, I promise you, take it from me, bruh. You feel me? Whatever the fuck you think it is, that it's not that. Whatever you think it is, it ain't that, bro. You know what I mean? Drowning in Hennessy, you feel me? Looking like you 45 and whatnot when you 20 and whatnot. That's not it, my nigga. I don't give a fuck how much bread you think that you have, what kind of assets and trinkets you think you have, what kind of shorties that's in your DM, my nigga, it is not the move. You need to preserve your motherfucking sexy. You need to preserve your fresh. You need to preserve your melanin by any means. There's nothing that comes before that. You need to drink you some motherfucking water, get into some goddamn, get in the gym. You don't have to be looking like The Rock. You know what I mean? You don't got to be looking like Lou Ferrigno, my nigga. You know, you could knock it out with some calisthenics. You could look like Coi Leray, right? You could be slim like her. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. You know what I mean? You just could be, but just get your physical shit together. Yeah, calisthenics are the best way. You know what I mean? Calisthenics. Go against your own body weight. Yeah, 40-year-old grandfathers. I don't know what the sister was talking about. They got 30-something-year-old grandfathers running these streets. Dead ass. Why does it seem like everyone in the 80s was buff? Because you had to fight in the 80s. You had to fight. Some of these 20-year-olds be looking 40 and 50. You dead ass. Yo, if they sat Method Man next to motherfucking Little Uzi Vert, my nigga, Little Uzi Vert could have been his uncle, his fucking father, probably. Like, if Little Uzi Vert was a little taller and you put some gray in his hair, and he was like, yeah, I brought my dad with me, I would be like, true indeed. What up, dad? These little niggas look mad old. How about that? You know what I'm talking about? How about that? So I was like, even though, and I'm not judging DMX because yes, we do know that he was abusing chemicals at a very early age. He had a harder life. He had a hard knock life, right? He had a hard knock life. But longevity is the key, y'all. Preserving your healthy bodies is the key. We're in a spacesuit. This is not even ours. We're just borrowing this body and whatnot. But you know what I'm saying? We're driving this motherfucking vehicle. This is our temple and whatnot. But goddamn it, you know, keep that shit, keep it re-upholstered. You know what I mean? Keep this temple in shape until it's time to check out of this temple. Keep your Airbnb clean, my nigga. You know what I mean? Even if you got to get the motherfucking cleaning service to come and clean you up. You know what I mean? Go to the spa, get your massages and your happy endings, get your feet rubbed, do everything that you got to do to cater to your body. You know what I'm talking about? If you're going to go spoil your woman, well, spoil yourself, get your ass spoiled too. Sisters, you already know. I don't even have to say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm mostly talking to the men because they don't really push this narrative to us. But you already know when it comes to y'all, and y'all don't need Mr. Red Pill to be all fucking preachy with you because y'all know what it is. You know what I mean? Y'all know what it is. Yoga. You know what I mean? Yoga. Somebody said rub mats. You know, I'm just clowning. I don't support that. You know what I mean? I don't support that. You know, I don't support that. The perks, yeah, them perkies be taking ages off you. The perkies be taking ages off you, right? God damn it. You know? But we don't wanna burn out too early, y'all. We don't want to burn out because you're gonna have to show up to the motherfucking reunion. You're gonna get the Lifetime Achievement Award. You're gonna have to show up to these award shows in 2035, and my nigga, when you come out on that stage, you wanna look preserved, my nigga, because it's gonna be in 10D at that point. It shit is in 4K right now. It's gonna be in 10K. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to look crazy in 2035 when they giving out Lifetime Achievement Hotep Awards and niggas come out on the stage looking crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Looking crazy. I just seen a video with K Slay and my nigga Cool G Rap was rapping. You know what I mean? And Cool G Rap, his jibs is missing. He should have kept the face mask on No offense to Coogee Rap, that's one of my early childhood heroes on the rap scene. But niggas was aged in that video. You know what I'm talking about? Some people was well preserved, but you could see that the Henny was catching up to these niggas. He had 140. What did he have? I think he had 140 MCs. Like 40 of them niggas was shot. Dead ass. 40 of them was shot. You doing all of this for what? You getting money, you trapping, you going in, you stacking for what? If it's not to preserve your Tesla, if it's not to make your temple right, for what? For your fucking Gucci link, my nigga? And you looking like Mumra? And you looking like Mumra? Yeah, Melly Mel. Melly Mel, he was in the gym. You know what I'm saying? He was in the gym. You know, he's holding on. He's holding on. And health is wealth. You know what I'm saying? Health is wealth. Somebody said Trick Daddy look like a melted chocolate bar. Trick Daddy look like he get facials with a bag of nickels. You know what I'm talking about? Trick Daddy, he look like his face roller. He look like his face roller. The face roller that he used is the shit that they used to use to motherfucking remember when they used to have the bread when they back in the days when they had the shit it wasn't like what was the shit? It had grooves in it and you would roll it over the bread. That's what he looked like. He got lupus. Oh, okay, my bad. My bad. But he be throwing it out there though. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like Trick Daddy is wild humble. It ain't like he's wild humble. You know what I mean? He be throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? So if he has a situation, I wish the brother more health and more wealth all day. Stop smoking that cocaine, my nigga, because it will not help the motherfucking lupus. I used to be in the club where he was smoking that coke, my niggas. It's called a motherfucking dirt. It was the Dirties. I used to be in Opium, the nightclub that's called Story right now, right in South Beach. Them niggas used to have that shit smelling like butt cakes. You know what I'm talking about? That shit stinks. You know? Smell crazy. Anybody from Miami knows what I'm talking about. Them niggas they smoke that fucking coke. You know what I'm saying? So with him have them bunkies, yeah, with him having that lupus, you need to put the motherfucking bunkies down. Cause that ain't gonna help. You know? Yeah, them dirties. It's disgusting. Bad business. You know, bad business. But yeah, the group with Pac Anderson or Anderson Pac and my nigga looking like he's straight. He looking like if Hawaii was a person, it would be my nigga Bruno Mars. You know what I'm saying? They was singing their pants off. You know what I mean? They was singing to the ladies. And I like that. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the you know what I mean? I'm thinking about the Tubbs and Crockett look all summer, you know, the button downs with no undershirt. I always like wearing tank tops, but these niggas got me wanting to not wear tank tops and just leave the shirt unbuttoned. You know what I mean? But I like what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? I like what they was doing. You know? That was a good performance. They were very showman like. But for the most part, the rappers, mad stiff. What the fuck was the baby doing? The rappers just did not move. They ain't do it for me last night. I was just like, nah, that ain't it. The men rappers, that was like that's not it, y'all. I mean, y'all need to start rapping about something different. You know what I mean? It's just not translating right. It's just not Roddy Rich, that wasn't it. They ain't do it for me. You know what I mean? Even the song of my shit. I scratched a million off my checklist 3 years ago. The shit with DJ Khaled, that's my shit. Him and Dirk, that that's my shit. You know what I'm talking about? I put a lot of people onto that. They didn't even nail that one. They didn't take that home for me. Nah. What did I think about dude who did the DMX? You mean Omar? You mean Omar from The Wire? He did all right. Nigga, the DMX performance was shorter than Lil Nas X's performance. What's fucking with that? You know what I'm saying? It was fucking with that. The DMX performance or the tribute was shorter than the shit that Lil Nas X had did. I was like, that's all we gonna get? Y'all was hyping this whole shit up the whole show, and this is all we get? Really, bro? Queen Latifah shit was longer than that. What's up with Lil' Kim though? And I'm not here to talk about nobody because, like I said, but what's up with the bayang with the motherfucking Prada on it? Who the fuck is trying? It's 2021. What? Like, nigga, what? Why they keep bringing her out the house like that? Is that Kimberly? Griselda did they thing? Did they? You think they did their thing? They was stiff too. If niggas wasn't jumping around and really into that shit, I wasn't even noticing. Like, it wasn't. It's for niggas. Performances were forgettable. Do you understand what forgettable means? It was like I forgot it. I mean, Cardi B's energy was higher than all, and she's pregnant, my nigga. Her energy was better than every single. What the fuck was the Migos doing, bro? Are you serious? Are these niggas the new Temptations? Like, did you see what they were trying to do? Who choreographed that? Who did that? You know what I'm talking about? I know the TikTok is on strike, but god damn it, you know what I mean? I mean, they was looking like they was looking like the white TikTok creators. This shit was looking crazy. Yo, Lil' Kim, I mean, I don't like talking about people, but my nigga, she was looking crazy. And I'm not saying that in a good way. She was looking crazy. She needs to let some air out of her face. You know what I mean? But the main, like, I wouldn't talk about her. I would have gave her a pass if she put on some shades. But why the fuck did she have a Prada logo in the middle of her bang? Like, who the fuck does that? What are you trying to initiate? It's bad enough we trying to get our daughters back from having a hot girl summer, and you come and confuse them with the Prada bang, bitch. Like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Are you serious? In a white parachute? The women are taking over the game. The women are taking over the game. But isn't the dude, isn't he LBGT in real life? The dude to play Omar, Michael Williams? Am I confused? Because I believe that he had already said that he was down with that life. Her bangs was sponsored by Prada. I didn't even know Prada was in the weave game. You know what I mean? They must have been like, you know what I'm saying? The motherfucking shoes with the red stripes is slowing up. We're gonna get into the bundle games, and Lil' Kim will be the first one to debut our new hair hats. Cause that was a hair hat if I ever seen one. You know what I'm talking about? That was a hair hat if I ever seen one. Somebody say yes, he's gay. You know what I mean? You're not gonna hear it from me. I'm not out here gossiping. Like I said, I'm just giving you the facts. I think that's how he swings in real life, and he from Flatbush, and he from Flatbush. The bangs, yeah, she was looking crazy. Her performance was kind of okay. Her performance was kind of okay. You know, her performance was kind of okay. He keeps taking those roles. Oh man. He was that on Lovecraft. Oh yeah, he was the daddy, right? Yeah, that's right. He was on Lovecraft doing this thing, and he's iconic in The Wire. And then in between, he was in Boardwalk Empire as Chalky White. That was one of my favorite villains in a very long time. He's a hell of an actor. Jeremy Wright is a hell of an actor. They're thespians. Let's not get it fucked up. Like I said, I'm not judging that man. You know what I mean? I'm not petty like that. You feel me? I enjoy the brother's artistic, what he brings to the table and shit like that. You know what I mean? But I'm calling shit like I see it. You know what I mean? I'm calling shit like I see it. If a nigga was a monogamous, I would be like, yo, he got 4 bitches. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I don't mean to say it like that. He got 4 women's. I'm just calling shit how I see it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, whatever. Seen him shopping in Lamerick Park the other day a couple of times. Okay. So he out there. He's in Hollywood. Jeremy Wright is a GOAT. Yeah, he's a GOAT. So yeah, like, man, I mean, everybody has their preference in life, right? Everybody has their preference in life. Everybody's into something. And I'm not here to judge because everybody has some type of fetish. Not everybody, but a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck do you expect for a society that was raised and their sexual education was black tails? You know what I mean? How could you judge generations whose sex ed was already, somewhat compromised? Nobody sat us down and had that talk. You know what I mean? We didn't get that talk. You know who gave us the talk? Cool G Rap. Talk like sex. You know who gave us the talk? Slick Rick with motherfucking Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. That's how I learned about crabs, nigga, by listening to Davy Crockett. She had crabs with spears and Indian drums. They going, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. See that you gotta, y'all young people don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going over your head and whatnot. But this is how we learned about the sex game through Nightcap. What was it? WHT? What was the name of that cable channel? Was it WHT? Nightcap? Playboy magazine? You know? Yeah, KRS-One with Jimmy. And then he said the girls are free because the crack costs money. I was a little kid trying to figure that out. Like, what do you mean by they're free? I didn't even know. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Are they free? Like, I was confused as a youth. When I'm listening to these lyrics, Benny Hill, he was religiously, you know what I mean, determined. That shit is real rapey when you look at it. Like, those women were not consenting to him groping them. You know what I mean? And that's what he was doing all the fucking show. Yeah, let's not. I was building it up to BET Uncut and Tip Drill, my nigga. I was building it up because before BET, it was WHT. WHT was soft porn. It was on cable, my nigga. It was late night. It has something called what was it? After Dark? WHT. It was my nigga. It was chicks with lingerie and slow mo kissing. That's all I remember. You know what I mean? HBO, yeah. The Spanish TV, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? All of that shit. Playboy Channel, where they had Anna Nicole Smith. Yeah, talk black to me. Yeah, nigga, we was watching Luke Peep Show. We was watching Luke Peep Show. That was the raunchiest shit ever. Dirty Red. I met the Luke dancers when I went to Miami. All facts. I was low key kind of intimidated because I'm like, I done whacked off to a few of y'all on VHS, and now I'm looking at y'all like, what's popping? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of scared of y'all because y'all be on stage eating niggas alive. Like, it's not even fair. You know what I mean? It's crazy. HBO After Dark. Girls Going Wild, just the commercial itself. You didn't even have, I don't even think I watched the whole Girls Going Wild video. I just watched the commercials. That was enough. So look at all of the shit that we were exposed to as little youth, right? As little youth, as young men and women, impressionable minds and whatnot. And then R. Kelly was in the background with all of his rapey music. You feel me? There was a lot of shit going on that we didn't even realize. And let's not even talk about the parents with the hidden porno stash. The shit was like 3 miles high and whatnot. It was almost like Ocean 11 when them niggas cracked the safe. Who's just seen the movie Army of the Dead on Netflix? It was like when homie cracked the safe and that shit opened up and it was 50 million in there. That's what it was when you was able to crack one of the motherfucking secret stashes and you was like, oh shit, it's going down. Look at this. Raiders of the Lost Ark, my nigga. I'm talking about the treasury. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas cracked the treasury. You know what I mean? The Bunny Ranch. Remember they had the show on a fucking Bunny Ranch? But they had this Bunny Ranch special, Real Sex on HBO at the Bunny Ranch. This is how we was learning shit. Yeah, Cinemax, late night. It was HBO, Showtime, and WHT. They was not playing. They was giving niggas the raunch. They was giving niggas that shit. And then I was in New York City. We had 42nd Street with the peep shows, nigga. You go get you a bag of quarters and it was on and popping. Yeah, Nightcap. Nightcap was the first. Nightcap was real. So this how we learned all of this. Remember the Hunts Point documentary? Jet Magazine, page 43. Talk about it. Talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Like the Jet Magazine, page 43. The Hunts Point prostitution documentary. That shit was crazy. That was crazy. So with all of that, you know, how the fuck do you expect us to grow up with a healthy sexual appetite? You know what I mean? How the hell do the children of America grow up? And then, you know, the confusion comes in. The majority of our people were raised to be Christian. So that shit was a motherfucking sin. To see somebody naked or boning and whatnot and having sex, you like, oh, are they married? I don't think so. Oh my goodness, the devil is gonna get me. Oh Lord, Jesus, please don't curse my hands. I didn't mean to use them like that. You know, all of that shit fucked us up. You know what I mean? That's where perversion comes in. When you're suppressing natural primal fucking energy. You know what I mean? That's where perversion comes in. That's where niggas turn into these monsters and whatnot because you're not supposed to suppress that. You're not supposed to hold that Kundalini energy down. You're not supposed to be ashamed of your fucking snake rising. That's how they fuck shit up. And you could see it really play out in a lot of those Europeans and whatnot that are like, you know, crazy weird and what, like in Breadbasket America, where it's super duper conservative Christian. Those are the most freakiest fetish motherfuckers on this planet. A lot of them needed religion to tie them down. A lot of them needed to be tied down because of their perversions and whatnot, boning sheep and shit like that. Them niggas was cow tippers. You know what I mean? Giving, running up on, sneaking into the stable at night with, having rendezvous with Mr. Ed. You know? And all of that was a build up to BET Uncut. I named all of those shows to bring us to where we are with BET Uncut. And the video that broke the motherfucking internet, I don't even know if it was the internet back then, was Nelly and Tip Drill. It all built up to Tip Drill with sexy ass white chocolate and the rest of those women. I was like, Lord, what did I just see, my nigga? Oh my goodness. I remember what I was wearing that night. You know what I mean? I remember what I was wearing that night. And I immediately wasn't wearing what I was wearing after like a few minutes after the video came on. Whatever I was wearing, I wasn't wearing it anymore. God damn it. You know what I mean? That was a moment. Like I wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? That was in HD. That was real close up. Like I didn't never seen it like that before. What was the song with Melissa Ford? I'm not sure. What was it? White Girls by the Mighty Casey. Used to watch that in the fast. Man, listen, I already know. Shit. Don't let me get into my Rikers Island short tail fucking stories. Don't let me get into my Rikers Island my short tail stories. The shit that niggas used to have to do inside of Rikers Island to get some motherfucking action, my nigga. It will blow your minds. It will blow your minds. We used to fold page 43 of the Jet magazine up so fucking small that it could fit underneath your fingernail, because you had to hide certain short tails from the police because they was taking it. That was contraband. Man, that was moving like cocaine in the motherfucking in the pokey. But yeah, man. Yeah, Ludacris with P popping. Like, this is where, 50 Cent with the pen, what's my nigga, Akinelli, put it in my mouth, all of that. Melissa Ford was on Knock Yourself Out. Was that uncut though? The Melissa Ford was on uncut? I don't think that was the video. But it was a lot going on. We were hypersexualized. You know what I mean? You know that the 90s porn stars were the best porn stars ever in the motherfucking game. Nothing fucks with them, with the Brazilian butts and all of that. Like, there's nothing that could fuck with that whole lineup of the women that came out in the 90s. So that was our entry. That was our intro. You know what I mean? Because we wasn't the strip club culture. That comes a little bit later on. Motherfucking Players Club and other shit kind of prepared us for it. And then anybody that went to Atlanta and you got introduced to Gentlemen's Club, Magic City, you know what I'm saying? Before and strokers and all of that, pinups, before the shit became normalized, where you would meet a shorty in Atlanta and be like, yo, I want to take you on a date. We're gonna go to Magic City for some wings and whatnot. That wasn't the norm when I was in Atlanta at first. I got in Atlanta in 97. Shit like that came in the BMF era, which would be like '04, like '04, '05. That's when it became normalized. But prior to that, you wasn't taking your your first date wasn't at the strip club. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? You would really take her somewhere else. You would take her where regular dates go. And then it became like, yo, we going to the strip club. So you could see me throw singles and whatnot. And, I could see if you're the one that's, gonna be in my life forever. You know? But the blue flame. Man. The blue flame. I had a shorty Well, it was a shorty that my man's was dealing with, and then she tried to cut back door and was trying to throw the box at your boy, and I had to shut that down. Like, nah, we don't do that. You know what I mean? We don't do that. But yeah, her name was Duchess. She was from Clark. She was dancing at Blue Flames, and she told us to pull up because we used to sell clothes like Jody on Baby Boy, my nigga. You know what I mean? I told you I used to run. We used to do the clothes thing. You know what I mean? New York niggas. You know how we do. You know, we was running clothes and whatnot. So of course, you know what I mean. As a young, uh, as a young man who was basically because in '97 up to 2000 when I was in Atlanta, I was on some outlaw shit. I was basically single, ready to mingle. So I already knew, go to Victoria's Secret, take all of the thongs, you know what I mean? Get the lingerie out of there, go to BCBG, go to BB's, go to all of the high level stores with the lady shit, and then, go ahead and go see the ladies. You know what I'm talking about? Because, that's gonna make a lot of things very easy in life. You know what I mean? You don't have to stick around and stand up in the club and try to wait to get chosen and whatnot. Just pull up with some motherfucking lingerie and you'll see how the night goes. So we was pulling up to the strip club and they was letting us in the locker room. You know what I mean? They was letting us in the locker room. They was like, "Oh, come to my house tomorrow. It's nothing. Ooh, y'all got that shit that I want. Ooh, oh my goodness. Oh, nah. How can I pay you?" You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, nigga got access. You know what I mean? I did better than Jody. Jody should have followed us. You know what I'm saying? And left homegirl Taraji alone. You know what I mean? Taraji with her old unfaithful ass had Snoop Dogg ready to murk him and whatnot. He should have came and fucked with us. And he should have fucked with Pandora. I already put the post on my page. Pandora was the one that got away. Because all she wanted to do is she wanted to make his life better and save him from his unfaithful baby mama who had all of the drama. You know what I'm talking about? But he went the wrong way. This is the adjustment bureau. You get judged on your moves, the decisions that you make. You know, we would have had Jody lit in Atlanta. You know what I'm talking about? We would have had Jody lit. We would have had him lit. We would have took his ass to Lenox Mall and loaded him up with the Lizzie bag, and we would have took his ass right to motherfucking Magic City Mondays. Jody was smooth with it. He could have sold all of the motherfucking skirts to the strippers. You know what I mean? And yeah, we would have had some fun because the strippers was like, you niggas are invited to the after party. It was me, my nigga Burger Billions, and my nigga G Young, who they call Lucky. And we was out, and Tahoe, my dude Tahoe came down there with us too for a little while and whatnot. We had to rescue him from Bed-Stuy because he was out there going crazy in the streets. So we had a lot of fun. I'm just gonna put it out there like that. You know what I mean? We had a lot of fun. That's all I have to say. Mama Pill had left the house to me. She was running around with Sabi and whatnot, curing people of AIDS and doing what they do. And I was in Atlanta doing what I do. You know what I mean? I think KT is still mad at me to this day for shit that we was out there doing. But I digress. You know what I mean? But it was it was an adventure. That's the best way that I could say it. It was an adventure, you know. Let's just be glad that I became conscious. Let's say, you know what I mean? Let's give thanks to Baba Phil Valentine for introducing me to the hotepness. Because I was out there. I was definitely out there. And it was it was cool. But this is what happened though. This is what happened, and this is not me capping and whatnot. I was able to see, the strippers that I was in contact with, I was able to see them become more humanized, right? Because I'm giving you the context of mentally as a young man where I was based off of what I was exposed to through the media and through entertainment and whatnot. You feel me? not really knowing a stripper. I didn't know a stripper. The strippers that I knew, I seen them through the screen, or I seen them through the movie screen, like Players Club, or I seen them through I seen them through Tip Drill and shit like that. I didn't personally know them. I didn't sit down and know them. I didn't learn who they were. It was selling clothes and shit like that that had me sit. And I said this before we had a conversation. I was giving a little bit of context. It was a stripper by the name of Baby Doll or Baby Girl. My bad. She's an OG stripper, right? We was staying in Buckhead and whatnot, and she came through one day, and we were selling clothes to her. We selling her some high end shit, and then something had came up about about a horoscope. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, I'm a Scorpion and whatnot. And she was like, ooh, you a Scorpion? And then she went into her bag and then she pulled out one of them horoscope books. And then we started going in on the signs and shit like that. And she was schooling me on the whole horoscope thing. And that kind of got me mad interested in like just the signs and the horoscope and the compatibilities and shit like that. So make a long story short, I really, you know what I mean? Because people don't, we judge a lot. We judge a lot because of people in their professions and whatnot. We don't see people as who they really are. We just see the professions that they're in. Like we'll see somebody that decided that they want to be a sex worker or a stripper, and that's how we identify them, not knowing that this may be a phase in that person's life that they'll eventually evolve out of, but that's not them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a booster. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't me. That was a phase that I was going through in my life as I was finding myself. I couldn't be judged for what I was doing at that point because I did not have a purpose. I was on the path to finding my purpose. Some people don't get to find their purpose, and unfortunately, some niggas slip up and they catch life in jail or 30 years or 40 and whatnot, or they get bodied and whatnot and get put in a grave mad early and whatnot, and they'll never find out who the fuck they were and what they were meant to be on this planet. That's why I always say that the birth of my son in 2007 is when I seen him come through the womb. That's when I finally I really found my purpose. I really found my purpose. It changed completely. The chemicals in my whole body's changed. Like everything changed from that point on. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh shit, this shit is bigger than me. This shit is bigger than me. This is about a whole life right now that I fucking created. This little nigga could have been in a napkin. You know what I'm talking about? But he's a whole life. So, OnlyFans turned strippers to entrepreneurs. Yeah, didn't it? Didn't it? And I'm not a co-signer of no strip clubs in 2021 like that. I'm giving you a context of before 2000. I said 1997, 98, 99, 2000. We in 2021. So some of y'all is on this line and y'all might be 21. I'm talking about before you was even born. That's crazy. You know what I mean? The shit feel like yesterday, but before you was even born is what I'm referring to. You know what I mean? The shit that's going on in the strip clubs these days is so low energy, so lower level compared to maybe where it was back then. You know what I mean? It's compromised. It's been infiltrated. You would think that it couldn't go no lower, but it has. You know what I mean? But it has. You know, and I'm not here to judge once again. There may be somebody who works in one of them clubs on the line tonight. I'm just letting you know, my nigga, you picked the wrong time to be a motherfucking waitress or to be on that pole, because the shit these days, I don't know, because I don't be in a club like that. But from what I've heard and from what I see on my scroll and whatnot, the shit looks mad weird. It's a wave. Yeah, the bartenders are more important than the damn strippers these days anyway, right? There was 4 years of stripper. That's right. Was it high energy back then? I remember I came when I was in the club, like I said, this is pre BMF. So if anybody, when they finally come out with the BMF series with stars and whatnot, you'll see how they shifted the whole culture. They wasn't doing Make It Rain back then. It wasn't about all of that. It wasn't about a lot of the shit that it's about right now. You could go there with a good $100, my nigga, and live. I'm talking about you could go with a Buckington and you could live your life. Even if you ordered some goddamn buffalo wings with the white sauce, with the ranch, and some fries, you could still live your life. You could get you could have got a drink, you got you something to eat, and you was patronizing the women for the night. What about us? I'm just being facetious on, a few dollars. And the energy was a little bit different-er. And it wasn't heavy with the LBGT thing going on, where there's a lot of Confucius going on. It wasn't. The energy was a little more different. I'm not gonna say that it was high energy. That would be a little. That would be a misnomer in a sense. I would just say that the energy was a little bit cleaner. You know what I mean? The flexing, it changed things. When they came with the flexing, I'm talking about Uber flexing. It kind of shifted things and it changed things up a bit. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's low energy period, a system of broken family. Yeah, I mean, you know, but like I said, I wasn't in a judgmental state back then. So if you're gonna judge me for being, in a spot when I was on a lower frequency. I was in the underworld, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I was in the underworld. So I was right where I was supposed to be. You know what I'm talking about? I was right where I was supposed to be because I was in that world. I was in that world. And me being in that world at that point, it was a lesson for me. I was a learning lesson. Like I said, I was able to meet certain people in the profession. I had a shorty. She was a twin from Rhode Island. You know what I mean? We started, kicking it. You know what I'm saying? She was working in Magic City and whatnot. They was Cape Verdeans. So I got to physically, meet somebody that was in the club, you know what I mean? Get to know her as a person. Because to be honest with you, she was just doing that shit to survive. You know what I mean? Like her whole energy after work, she was really like a nerd, you know? She was really on some nerd shit. Yeah, Cavario that's my OG. Cavario is my OG. Cavario is he's the one that hooked me up with an interview with Big Meat when he was locked up. That's my guy right there. You know? So the fact that it got out of hand, because that's what it did, it got out of hand, it got normalized and whatnot. You know, I mean, what can I say? You know what I'm saying? What can I say? Hopefully they snap out of that shit soon. You know what I mean? Hopefully they snap out of that. You know? In the 90s, they would have probably got jacked making it. Oh, they would have definitely got jacked. Shit. The Wolves, the Brooklyn Wolves had went down there and started turning up on a lot of the money throwers in the BMF era. That's where, niggas from Brevoy, Ruggs and them, that's where the stick up kids started coming into the Atlanta and laying shit down. You know? A lot of strippers say they want love. Yo, a lot of strippers need hugs, yo. You feel me? A lot of strippers need hugs. A lot of strippers they need healing. You know what I mean? So, I've said this on many occasions, that there's a lot of goddesses, there's a lot of healers in this community who, they go to the strip club. I mean, I'm not exposing nobody, but if you in Atlanta, it is what like don't let no motherfucking bendy in the middle of a woman's forehead or the fact that they running around with 3/4 of a cloth, They'll go to the strip club in a minute and throw a few dollars. You know what I'm talking about? But my whole thing is with that energy, that healing, and if they're healers and whatnot or helpers, why not infiltrate into these places and begin to pull out some of these women who need help? Who the fuck is gonna do it if not you? Because it's not, the men can't really do it because it's going to turn into a sexual type of thing. You know what I mean? It's going to turn into a sexual type of thing. They're going to want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? They're going to want to skeet. You know what I mean? Either party. Even if the man keeps it super duper, nah, I'm preserving myself, sister. I'm celibate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to do tantric with you and stretch. You know what I mean? I'm just here to stretch. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's not gonna work forever. That's not gonna work forever. What would work though is if some of these goddesses, right, or some of these sisters who have the tools get there and start yoni steaming them, you know what I mean? And get up in there and their light, their attraction, because they have a magnetism to them. Women are drawn to a certain type of pedigree or a certain type of woman who emits a certain type of light. Every fucking thought or every stripper and every sex worker that I've ever met is in love with Erica Badu. That's their mother. You know what I mean? Like, they bow down to that Badu energy, right? So they'll fuck with a spiritual chick and listen to them before they would a woman who has a low no light. They're not emanating no light. They're not magnetizing nothing. They're not drawing anything to them. Women are intuitive like that. They know what it is. They got the fucking sight. So I'm like, why don't a group of sisters, a sisterhood, you know what I mean? Like how you have missionaries going into the trenches and flipping shit, converting motherfuckers to their religion and whatnot. They be in the slums. You know what I'm talking about? They be in the slums, right? And they going out there spreading falsehoods. You got the missionaries in the slums flipping prostitutes to become motherfucking nuns and Christians. They do it. So how is it that the fucking the band of goddesses, the light workers, don't find them? Because I don't want to hear, oh no, brother Red Pill, we can't put ourselves in that environment. Lies. Because if Red Pill said, I'm going to throw a fucking bag, who wants to come? They're like, I'm pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Let me take off this dashiki nigga. I'll be there. You know what I mean? Let's not play any fucking games because I'll start pulling mad cards. You don't want me to do that. You know what I'm talking about? You don't want me to do that. So let's just say in Atlanta specifically that everybody's down with that shit. You know what I mean? Like they down with the get down. So if they down with the get down, why they not going in there and I did it? Because like I said before, the strippers in Atlanta are apex predators. The strippers in Atlanta on a hierarchy pyramid, they on the top. Okay? In the Instagram world, the followers and influencers, they on the top too. They got millions of followers. They out here selling flat tummy tea, making $200,000 a motherfucking month. They could sell anything. They selling lashes, waist trainers. So why they not selling yoni eggs or yoni steams and whatnot? Why y'all not integrating products with them? Or why is there no plans to say, yo, she's the one? Because it's not all of them, of course. Everybody don't have the light, but somebody gotta have the light. I'm gonna go and take this sister out the club. We're gonna clean her up. We're gonna help her heal. Right? We're gonna pull the motherfucking goddess out of her. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna help her fucking skin clear up. We're going to feed her some raw foods. We're going to juice her down, detox her. And then by doing that, the other women who are paying attention, who are following these women and sculpting their bodies based off of how they want them to be exactly like these women, right? They'll be influenced by the influencer. So you don't worry about changing 1 million people. All you got to do is change one. Fuck's you saying? Like, that's how it works. They don't reject that kind of help. That is a lie. They don't reject that kind of help. Like I said, I've been in situations where they were crying for that kind of help. They were asking for that kind of help. I could show you my inbox where they're in my inbox asking me, yo, Red, I need some help. I need some healing. Who could you point me to? And I don't know who to point them to because I don't know who to trust in these communities like that. I really don't, to be honest with you. I really don't. So I just be telling them, hold on. It's going to get better soon. It's going to get better. It's going to get greater later. This is doable. This is, if you doing all of this for what? To preach to the choir? You doing all of this for what? Stop playing fucking games. Y'all know who's influential out. Y'all know that Meg the Stallion, that Lilith energy is dominant. You know, it's like people are talking out of different sides of their fucking head. Because on one end, you know what it is. You see the influence. You know what the movement is. The movement is strong. The movement is strong. But instead of sitting there and judging and pointing fingers, right? And acting holier than fucking thou, why not say, you know what? I'm gonna flip this chick. Cause it's flipped or be flipped. At the end of the day, it's flipped or be flipped. I'm gonna go in. Nigga said I'm a thottis whisperer. I like that. Thottis whisperer.
To this day. To this day.
You know, and put them on to some Queen of Four. So I salute Queen of Four because she's positioning herself on the Breakfast Club. She got Lauren London under the wing. You seen Lauren London shining on the BET Awards. That's a lot to do with being with Queen of Four and whatnot. She's doing her job, right? So there's a lot of women and whatnot, because I've been in a lot of those healing circles. She draws and magnetizes a lot of women who've been out there like that. I'm talking about out there like that. You know what I mean? On a motherfucking edge and whatnot. She brought me back to life one time in 2013. I was out there. I was going through some shit, bro. I showed up to her front door and they was like, who is that? I wasn't even myself. I had a conversation with her to show you that the body can hit. Because remember, my brother Blue Pill, he explicitly says, I don't know about the word healer because your fucking body heals itself. A lot of that throwing around, I'm a healer. I'm a healer. Who the fuck did you heal? You a healer? Nigga, you not a healer. You a helper. You help me heal myself. The body heals itself. Don't give nobody that. There's no healers in this community. That's where all of this fucking inflated ego is coming from. Nigga, you're helping people. Okay? That's as far as it goes. The body heals itself. If somebody speaks to you and speaks life to you, that life was already inside of you. They're just reminding you who the fuck you are because you done forgot about it. You were so far in the sunken place, you probably forgot who the fuck you were. And they just here to remind you and they help pull you out of your shallow grave. Okay? And those herbs that they give you and the herbs that you take and whatnot, those herbs are feeding your body and your body is going to heal itself. Stop giving outside sources so much fucking credit because y'all are exchanging Jesus Christ for all of these people that y'all fake worship in these communities and whatnot. That's why you niggas is in a runt these days. Okay. So you heal yourself. All is mental. Starts in your fucking mind first. You heal yourself. Your body is an intelligent machine. It will heal itself. When you niggas had COVID and whatnot and you was in a bad position, wasn't it your body that got you out of that? Or did Jesus take the wheel? Did somebody outside reach into your fucking lungs and make it breathe? No, that's your body working. That's your body. So salute to all of the helpers out there who are helping people with their situations, who are helping people with their ailments, who are helping people with their esteem, who are helping people who are hurt and putting band-aids on them and whatnot. Salute to y'all, because it's not an easy work. Who helps the helpers when the helpers need help? But yeah, Queen of Four was there for me, and she was there to help me back in the days. And I've seen her help numerous women who turn around and help other women, who turn around and help other women. It's a cycle. But what I'm here to say, if you live in one of these states where it's dominated by this quote unquote sex magic energy, right? And it's low, and its energy has been perverted and whatnot because it's being utilized on the lowest frequency in the sex working game, in the strip clubs and whatnot, where a lot of debauchery, fuckery, and all kind of lower level shit is taking place. I'm like, put your motherfucking capes on and go up in those situations, right? Because you're already going in there. For those of you that go in there, I'm not saying that all of these sisters that are in this community or all of the goddesses stroll into the strip clubs, but you know, some of y'all are not allergic to shit like that. So if you could find yourself going in there to throw a few dollars and whatnot and have some fun and slap some asses and whatnot, you also could go in there and give these sisters some motherfucking some insight, because they're looking low key for some help. They're looking for some help. They're looking for some help. Some of them need some help on where to invest that money that they're making every damn day. Some of them need some help because of childhood trauma and whatnot. Some of them need some help because of health related issues, STDs, herpes, and shit like that. Some of them need some help because of mental health issues. Some of them need some help because of the demonic dark energy that they need to take off of them that keeps, that they're encountering with their patrons every other day. Dancers are spoiled. They want a sugar daddy. I'm not talking about that. I mean, shit, let them do what they do. I'm talking about something that goes beyond that. And SC, all they want to do is sell box. Like I said, for the men that are speaking right now, our perspective will be different from another woman dealing with another woman. You know what I mean? Women they're gonna do what they're gonna do because they're underneath these type of spells. That's what the culture is on right now. So that's what they about right now. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, if this would have happened, a decade earlier, a lot of sisters would have been out of that situation. But we are we are where we are. We in 2021. And it's a fucking hot girl summer, and the spell is thicker than a pack of Snickers, my nigga. It's thicker than Snickers. The spell is thick. You know what I mean? We're not dealing with 97 anymore. We're in 2021. So if we was in the quicksand, that shit it's up to our necks at this point. So for the sisters, the work is gonna be a little bit more strenuous. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I'm saying don't go in there one deep. Go in there maybe 3 or 4 of y'all. You know what I mean? Get your fucking ostrich feathers and whatnot. You know what I mean? Wrap your fucking hair up and you know, protect your crown and whatnot, and go into the lion's den and bring some out. Go into the lion's den. You know, you'll be surprised the type of work that you will be able to accomplish. You know, I've actually had female strippers as friends. They was getting their money and they moved on to something better. You know, I asked them to talk about real issues and they listen. You'd be so surprised how willing to listen a lot of them would be. You know, what's going to replace that tax-free cash? Entrepreneurship, multiple income streams, a little bit of crypto. You know what I'm talking about? A little few crypto wallets. You know what I mean? You know, yes, it's like, look, it's not fair for y'all to even act like that's not possible when we went and got the killers. You know what I'm talking about? We went and took the fucking drillers out of the trenches. There's killers that we converted and flipped. And now these niggas is saying, hotel. They got killers in bow ties with face tats and fucking teardrops. They got killers wearing onks and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? We done flipped the killers and the hustlers and the trappers. That is a fact. I'm not gonna put nobody's business out there, but take it from me. I'm outside, my niggas. We done made killers put the guns down. We done put, they got killers with feathers on and bow ties and onks and RBG to the fucking T, to the teeth, to the toe. And they not on that frequency. They're not worrying about, yo, how am I gonna get dope money anymore? They took the fucking hit. They took the sacrifice. They took the pay cut. You know how many pay cuts I had to take to be in this fucking community? I don't think you understand. So if the brothers could do it, the strippers ain't killers. They not gonna kill you, sister. I don't care what you saw on Players Club. Everybody ain't diamond. The strippers is not out here trying to kill niggas. The killers is killing. The killers is killing. The drillers are drilling. And we got to deal with them. We deal with them. We don't got to, but we deal with them. They like, yo, pull up. I'm like, where? They're like, to the block. I'm like, nah. They're like, nah, I just want to kick it. I'm like, all right, cool. Say, you know what I mean? You tell the ancestors to cloak you, to protect you, and you go into the trenches. You know? Go into the trenches. Because when you see a brother and you see the potential, you see the messianic force in one of your brothers, and you say to yourself, you know what? The potential that this brother has is going to potentially save from one life to hundreds of lives. Versus if I ignore him and turn my back on him, he's going to take one life to another 100 of lives, and he's going to take them deeper into the underworld, right? He may not, I might have to bump heads with this brother later on down in life when I'm trying to get one of the youth, when I'm trying to speak to the youth and get the youth on board and get the youth on track. This might be the big homie that's pulling these niggas into the gang life. You feel me? So I'm like, you know what? I might as well take his energy. He has a messianic energy. People listen to him. He's a natural leader and whatnot. Motherfuckers is following him and whatnot. He's going to be able to go deeper in the trenches where I'm not going. and he's gonna bring them back out because he's gonna be able to shine his light. Nah, I'll pull up on them. You know what I mean? I'm not Hollywood, and I'm not scared. That's how that should be working. Y'all don't know the kind of work that we doing. And that's not everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. You know, that's not all, and don't make it seem what I'm saying. It's not what every single I don't know other I don't know too many other conscious thought leaders that move like I move. I don't know too many people that got love. They scared of the hood. A lot of people are scared. They intimidated by the hood. They intimidated by the trenches. They intimidated by the streets. They couldn't stand next to certain type of energy and whatnot because they probably don't come from that. That's not their mission. That's not their journey. That's not their frequency. That's not their vibe. And it doesn't have to be. You understand? Nobody is putting you in that situation. This is not a conversation. I'm not giving this conversation for bragging and boasting, right? This is not ego talking. I'm just giving you a small insight on some of the motherfucking missionary work that we do out here when people need to motherfucking wake up. You know what I mean? I got rappers and whatnot that are in the trenches. Their entourages are killers and shit like that. And they want to talk. They want to ask questions. They want people to pull up in their studio sessions and smoke and just chop it up. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm there for that. And for people wasn't outside. And to be honest with you, you know, it's all good. You don't have to be. I was outside, so you don't got to be outside. There's other people and whatnot that was outside, so you don't have to be outside because there's nothing that out you wasn't missing anything. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's not if that's not what you was there for, that if that's not your mission, don't worry about it. And don't feel like that oh nah, I gotta do what son is doing so I could no, don't please don't do it to yourself. You know, don't do it to yourself. You know, what if somebody turned their backs on Malcolm Little? What if somebody turned their backs on Khaled Muhammad? You feel me? There's a whole bunch of people that I could point out that was outside and in the trenches and was knee deep in this shit. You know what I mean? But somebody was out there who they had patience. They had patience with them. They saw something in them and they was like, "Nah, I'm gonna be patient with you. I'm there for you. I'm gonna help pull that God that's hiding inside of you out of you." Yeah, somebody said the nerds are winning. You damn right they winning. The nerds is up. The nerds are up. So it would be almost backwards of anybody. I would rather the majority of the teachers and the thought leaders to focus on the blurs, the black nerds. I would hope that they would focus on the geniuses in our community. You know, leave it to some of us to, because I'm not in the trenches. Don't because what I'm saying about me being around, and I'm not really doing that these days. A lot of that was some of my earlier works. A lot of some of that was my earlier works. You know, I'm kind of moving in cruise control these days. You know, a lot of that was the earlier works. You feel me? But a lot of us should be focusing on the geniuses, the young ones that are coming up, the star seeds amongst us, the youth. You know what I mean? The youth. And the people whose hearts are in the right place, who don't really need. Yeah, let me know who the Agent Smith is, because I'm not really in the chat like that. I don't even have no moderators. Tony, I got you, Tony. All right. Hit me on the email. I'm gonna send you an email. I don't have moderators, so I have to moderate my chat room as I speak to y'all and whatnot. And that's not a problem because I could do two things at once. You know. Okay. You've been set up to go home. Please, no one will listen. Dream a new dream. The kingdom of heaven is within. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, I mean, I could go with that. I could go with that. That's not too bad. They already got the grind and guts to put out their inside thoughts, direct that focus towards some consciousness like metaphysics. Yeah. What's up with a one-on-one, with a one-on-one build? What do you mean, like a consultation? Okay. Be respectful. Be respectful. You have no choice. It's already written. No one will profit off this knowledge. Okay. That's right. Okay. All right. So like, I think people like Kwame Brown, you know, brothers like Lord Jamal, um I think she calling you. Yeah, just hit me on the email. I do consultations. Hit me on the email. I'll send you the calendar. I don't have a lot of time. We will have to squeeze something in. Thank you, Queen Offset. We will have to squeeze something in and whatnot, but we can make something happen. Jesus is the morning stars, Lucifer, the morning stars dream, another dream. How many people, Shadow King, are you helping in the hood, right? If that's where you are, uh in the hood, how many people are you helping? People pay to talk to beautiful strippers. Is that a trench? Sounds like a privilege, more like, well, that's their job, first and foremost. That's their job site. Strip club is their job site. Um, People are showing up to their job to patronize them, okay? But they are in a job site where the patrons and the energy and the environment resemble and have high elements of a trench. It's not the trenches, but the motherfucking trenches are there, if you understand what I'm saying. It's not the trenches, but the trenches are there. You know what I'm saying? It's not the trenches, but the trenches are there. It's a trap. That's right. The strip club is the trap. So we don't want to. You assume all men are dogs. Many want to save and take home. I don't understand what you're saying. But there are trenches out here that are more darker, more dangerous, and a little more, I would say, what's the word? Life threatening in a sense. And when I brought that up, I was saying that there are men, right? Brothers, warriors for that matter, right? I am the hood. The hood taught me to be Christ. This is a promise to the Bronx. Okay, so you all right, Shadow King. You the king of the Bronx. You right? Your kingdom, you lord over the kingdom of the Bronx, Pelon. Understand this. Okay. Now I'm getting better. I'm learning as I speak to you, my good brother. The trench is a track cut through a wood, a slice, a cut, a defensive ditch. Yeah, thank you, Eyeball Torres. But you know, the new meaning of that has been they've repurposed the word. So the trenches is the hood. Strip clubs are Disney World compared to the trenches. That is a fact. That is a fact. I do agree. You know what I mean? To the men, going back to what I was saying, because I'm speaking to the women, right? I'm not necessarily speaking to the men, right? I'm not necessarily speaking to the men in a sense. I'm saying for the women, right? Especially for a woman who's not of that life, who's not of that environment. She's just trying to get some motherfucking bills paid. She's been swayed by the culture, right? She's in the trenches because a lot of shit can happen to her in that hostile twerk environment. You know what I'm talking about? Women's is getting kidnapped. They getting robbed after work. Women is ODing in the motherfucking strip club. There's a lot of dark energy in the strip club. There's a lot of people in the strip clubs who are, you know, if you speak to certain strippers and whatnot, they get, them niggas is in there talking crazy to them. So when I say that, that's what I'm talking about. Strip clubs are Disney World. The only way to get them help is when their clothes are off. In 5 years, when they're high on 125th Street, nobody cares. That's the real trench. I mean, yeah, shit. Lexington and 125th Street, where they are doped up on heroin and whatnot. At the, that's the further spiral, right? That's the further spiral, because that's the spiral eventually that certain people fall into. That's the lower rung. That's the lower rung. So now we're comparing rungs and whatnot. That would be the lower of the lower rungs, when that opiate addiction that you might have picked up in these clubs and whatnot as a bartender, even in a regular club, right? Now you've fallen into a lower rung, right? Based off of an addiction. And yeah, your ass is on 125th Street, or now you in a shelter, or you in one of them, now you on a strip and whatnot with a whole bunch of zombies. Yeah, that's the lower rung. So we're saying before it gets to that, maybe a person who is out here claiming, and I'm, like I said, I'm talking to the light workers. It's almost 500 people here. It might be 5 of y'all that are light workers. Everybody is not set up for that. That's what everybody's mission is not. It might be some people that's like, yo, I just want to teach. It may be some people like, yo, I just want to teach my babies. It may be some people, I just want to eat healthy. I just want to learn metaphysics. I just want to listen to Bobby and Panic. That's not your job then. It's not what you signed up for. You just here to edify your spirit and do what you do, and there's no judgment. Do that. You know what I mean? What I'm speaking to specifically, and I'm involving everybody in this conversation, right? But I'm really just speaking to the hearts and the minds of those who identify themselves as the light workers, who don't have, who their passion is to heal or to help or to reach out, right? To identify those who may be in hostile environments, who they could pull out of that environment based off of them being able to see the motherfucking aura and the light in a motherfucker and saying, you know what? I need to do something to help pull you out of this shit. Here's the lion's paw. I'm pulling you up out of this shallow grave, because this is what the fuck I'm here to do. It's like being a firefighter and you running into a burning building and you like, you know what? I'm looking for bodies and whatnot and signs of life. So when you go into these underworld, when you go into these environments, you're going to see a bunch of dead people. You're going to see a bunch of deltas. You know how they got the delta variant? When you look on the brain waves and whatnot, you got theta, you got beta, you got delta. Delta is dead. If you do the research, delta is basically unconscious. So when you go into these places like the nightclub, like the strip club, any of these motherfucking places where knuckle draggers, where the zombies and whatnot congregate, there tends to be a few people in the motherfucking fray that have not gotten bit by the zombies yet. They have not turned into zombies. They are not vibrating on the delta frequency. And if you give a fuck and if you care, you could reach out and grab someone. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Pause. Are you going to have to find Dr. Sabi to give them detox and know that God is still coming quickly? No, dickhead. To be honest with you, a lot of them know about Dr. Sabi. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of them know about Dr. Sabi. You know? And a lot, I could smell the jealousy on a lot of y'all, on some of y'all, on like one of y'all in the chat. You know what I mean? It's okay. You know? It's all right. You know? They lost and addicted to the sauce. But yeah, there was a lot of people that was lost and addicted to the sauce before they got, woken up. So, what are we doing now? You know what I'm talking about? What are we doing now? Are we who have been awakened? Are we who have been enlightened? Who woke you up? Who gave you the red pill? You know what I'm talking about? Who helped you in your situation? Panic used to say that maybe their purpose was to be a killer or a stripper. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But like I said, coming from somebody such as myself who came out of a situation, and I was in the community before there was a community. So when I got into this shit, 89% of the people that are here wasn't here before. How the fuck did y'all get here? You know what I mean? Who put you on? Who opened up your eyes? Who saved you from your situation? And everybody's situation is unique and whatnot. I'm not saying that you don't have to be a stripper. You could have been in the trenches. You could have been. There's people that's watching me right now from inside of jail right now. They getting this information behind the motherfucking wall. There's certain people that was like, yo, I was just on World Star. I was looking for something. I stumbled across a Sarnetta video, or I stumbled across a Umar video, and that led me to this, and that led me to that, and I was in this rabbit hole. Who the fuck woke you up? That's what I'm saying. When you dealing with red pill, I'm red pill. Let's not forget who the fuck I am. I'm red pill. What my purpose is to disseminate and deliver red pills. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I wake people up. I pull them out of the matrix. I'm not here to be Mr. Popular and hum a stunt and I'm not into my ego, my nigga. I'm not out here to try to be the head nigga and all of this stupid shit that these niggas be running around doing. I stand on top of my purpose, and I've been doing what the fuck I've been sent here to do since I accepted that motherfucking name. I'm not just wearing that name just because it sounds cute. Somebody helped save my life. Somebody helped save my life. I can't even remember a lot of where I was mentally before I got put on to certain information. And it was like my red pill, and it woke me up, and it changed the course of my life. That is the best feeling in the world. It's better than an orgasm. You feel me? Let's become strippers so we can get help and attention. All right. I'm not going to block you, but, I'm going to just let you keep playing yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Because you do that expertly. You stumbled on through watching Dr. Henry Clark videos. Because if your claim to fame is being a troll and you don't really add much to the conversation, then, what is your worth? You know what I'm talking about? Because we really out here saving lives. Like, for real, for real. We not playing games. This is not a fucking game. We really out here saving real lives. And the fact that this shit we make it look easy, people don't respect that. But you're gonna respect this. You're gonna respect what the fuck we do. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of the problems. This community, a lot of people take this shit for jokes, but they don't realize, like, they don't realize what the work that's being done, I guess. Because they, at the end of the day, you don't really have to do anything. You just sit back and you watch videos. You don't have to put in no work. You don't gotta do no heavy lifting. You don't gotta you don't even have to read books no more. You just gotta watch a few lives and shit like that. You know? The amount of time that was put in this community, sitting at the feet of the master teachers, hearing them build on shit that's going on right now, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Sitting at the feet of the master teachers. That's why I have no qualms about who I'm amongst. I know I'm amongst the greatest. I know I belong to a pantheons of the motherfucking greatest icons, the greatest teachers and scholars that have walked this planet during this generation. I know I'm connected to that because I sat at the feet of the teachers and the shit that they built on. Still got the notes going back to 2002 and 3 and 4 and 5. I still got some of the notes and everything that they was teaching us. I'm talking about shit that Sabi was teaching us in the 80s have come to pass. Scenarios that Dr. Valentine was laying out verbatim. Things that Dr. Delbert Blair was pointing out verbatim. Things that Bobby Hemmett was giving us. I sit back and I go on YouTube and I just watch old Bobby and I be crying because I was like, damn, I would have hugged him harder if I knew what the fuck I know today, because he was so on point. He knew he was on point, but there was some of us that used to be in the audience. We knew that he was on point, but we used to be laughing and shit like, yo, Bobby be wilding, my nigga. Like, shit, he's crazy. You know what I mean? And now look at reality. Now look at where we at. I'm talking about shit that Bobby talked about. These new teachers, these niggas is out here plagiarizing. These 1 minute TikTokers and all of these people on the gram and all of that. They running with the cloth. Motherfuckers is regurgitating and parakeeting shit that the master teachers, everybody is swagger jacking Sabi's whole fucking wave, my nigga. Nuggets of it. And don't even throw no credit back. The audacity of these niggas. There's a bunch of blasphemous teachers or reachers or preachers that are running around, charlatans, living off of the sweat equity and the motherfucking works of people who bust their ass, motherfuckers who died penniless, scholars that went blind from reading multiple books to teach you niggas. The audaciousness is at an all-time high. But you know what? I just laugh at that shit. You know what I'm talking about? This shit is funny to me. Bobby Hemmett said, don't follow me. Phil Valentine said, don't follow me. You dig what I'm saying? Dr. Sabi said, don't follow me. He said, fuck out of here. Follow yourself. And then Instagram came with a button, and now you niggas think that you leaders because you got followers. Yeah. They said, don't follow nobody. They was one of the reasons why I did not join any of those organizations. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. The year was 2013. This was a request from my daughter's mother. She was like, yo, you should join the Nation of Islam. I was like, what you talking about? She was like, for the discipline. And I started thinking about that shit. I even went to one of their Sunday classes. Nigga, I was finna put a bow tie on. And then Bobby spoke to me and was like, nigga, what did I say? And I shook up out of that shit so quick. And I was like, that's right. No organizations. You be your own leader. You be your own leader. So now they got a whole generation. We were doing better before the rise of social media in terms of where people were in their purpose and things of that nature. Social media kind of muddied the water, to keep it a Buckington with you. Social media kind of muddied the water. So now people got to get up off of that shit. They got to break that spell where, you know, they think that they the man and they think that they the big fucking kahuna and they the big gurus and whatnot. And, oh, I was sent here to save you. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. Yeah, no offense to nobody in the NOI or Farrakhan, whatever, but that's just not my purpose. That's not my walk. Salute to everybody who is a card carrying member of the nation and whatnot. I have respect for I have respect for the MSTA. Shit, I got my nationality card, but I'm not inside of no organization. I don't claim no organization. You know what I mean? The furthest that I'm gonna go is with my study group. I'm gonna have Stream Chasers Academy. You know what I mean? KTL University and whatnot. But these are not organizations for anyone to follow because there's no leader. There's no leader. Follow yourself. Learn who the fuck you are. Get in touch. Man, know thyself. Get in touch with your higher self. Right? And follow that light so you could get out of your lower self, them dark stages and whatnot through your hero's journey. And, you know, you'll be all right. I don't claim no religion. You know, I self-law and master. I don't claim a religion, though. You know, Sabi said he was a messenger carrying the message of the herbs that heal. Sabi was very explicit with it. He said, do not follow me. I'm flawed. I'm not perfect. I don't fit the criteria of what you think a leader should be. You know what I'm talking about? I might start the Hotep Academy. I was thinking about that. You know what I mean? With the big H, like the Hermes. You know, Sabi was like, I'm flawed. Bobby was like, I'm flawed. Phil Valentine was like, I'm flawed. As far as I go with them, those are my master teachers. I come out of a family where my father's a professor, so it's not a sin to call another man a master teacher because we are in the university. We are in the school of thought and knowledge. I walk through different schools of thought and knowledge. I walk through the school of metaphysics. I walk through the school of occultism. I walk through the school of Moorish science. I walk through all of those schools and I sat at the feet of the most qualified amongst those schools of thoughts and knowledge. Those were my master teachers. Not to take away the fact that there were other master teachers that belonged to those schools of knowledge, but it's the same way that if you went to Howard and you had a motherfucking African studies teacher and you like, yo, he's the shit, but then somebody in Tuskegee was like, my teacher is the shit. Well, nigga, I can't be in two places at once. Fuck is you saying? I mean, that's my teacher here and you got your teacher there and we all are benefiting off of the information. Let's not start fucking let's not have this pissing contest amongst teachers. You know? But like I said, people is still Christian. They just switched it up for a dashiki. They're looking for leaders. They looking for a pastor. They looking for a reverend, my nigga. They looking for a Jesus figure. They looking for somebody they could crucify. They want somebody to get on the cross and die for their sins. You know what I'm talking about? These niggas is looking for martyrs in this community right now. You know? No, I'm not taking the word master away. They're the master fucking teachers. Bottom line. You know what I mean? You know, live with it. They're the master teacher. They're not direct because I had teachers before. I have to make a distinction. You know what I mean? I run into teachers a lot, but they're not masters. We're talking about mastery right here. We're talking about mastery. there's a level of mastery when it comes to teaching and whatnot. And there's certain teachers that qualify to be identified as master teachers because of their mastery. Like I said a minute ago, I've sat back throughout the years. Every day when I peruse the internet, I'm reminded, yo, you learned this 10 years ago. You learned it. They shooting niggas with nanobots. Do you know Phil Valentine taught us about nanotechnology in '01? '01? None of our master teachers are getting back our land or our gold. There you go, brother. You're looking for a savior. Why don't you get back the land and the gold? Why don't you take the information that your mother, whatever your teacher was it Noble Drew Ali? Why don't you apply that, young man or old man? You dig what I'm saying? Why don't you apply that? What the fuck? What is that? What's the power of the students now? How dare you niggas be so blasphemous? Do you go to the colleges and tell your fucking teachers who gave you all of your lessons and whatnot what they should be doing for you? No, you took the lesson, you got your diploma, you did the fucking TikTok dance on stage, and you kept it moving. You know what I'm talking about? So what's the power of the students? You've been charged to go ahead and you get your land up. You get your gold up and your silver. How dare you wait for another man to do something like you? What are you waiting for? An inbox or a fucking invite, my nigga? You looking for a flyer on Instagram to say, oh, you're invited to come live on my land next week. I'm not, that's not what's up. That's not what's up. Why don't you be a boss and you get some fucking land and you send an invite to your master teacher, show some appreciation for him turning on your fucking lights and putting you on? And why don't you give something back? You niggas is always with your fucking cups, shaking them, thinking that somebody's supposed to do something for you.
To this day. To this day.
What happened to your charge? What happened to your charge? What are you? What the fuck are you here to do? All of you able bodies. What kind of work are you putting in? These teachers have been doing what they had to do. There's certain teachers that have retired because they're tired. I gave you the names of some master teachers. Taj Tariq Bey, another master teachers. Y'all gonna work him to death? Y'all gonna run them down? Dr. Phil Valentine did 300 plus lectures. Bobby did 3. People are still trying to, oh, I need Bobby. I wanna talk to Bobby. My nigga, Bobby already talked to you niggas for about 20 years. Let them live. How dare you keep working the people? We are not workhorses. We are not that's not your daddy. That's not your daddy. Go ask your father where's your fucking land at and your gold. That's not your daddy, bro. You know what I'm talking about? And you shitted on Dr. Africa when he died. Niggas don't even say his name like that. They don't even say his name. They don't even honor him. Nobody even gave him the right type of ceremony like that. Astaghfirullah. These niggas is out here shaking cups, talking about what can you do for me? Now that's whole talk. You might as well be in a strip club, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I remember going to Dr. Africa's last lectures. He was saying he was tired. He was saying that he was tired, bro. Did you give him cash? He was exhausted. He got mad books, a lot of literature, a whole bunch of videos if you into that. I believe he got a website. Dr. Delbert Blair, he made his transition in pain. People neglected him. He was in limbo in New York. Motherfuckers turned their backs on him. I was there and I seen it. Then you have the audacity to say, tell his wife, hit me up. I got a small fee, not that much. You know what? Keep the fee. Keep your $5. You bum ass nigga. Keep your $5. Cause now you being disrespectful. Do you know what I'm talking about? Now you talking out of the side of your neck. So when you get disrespectful, I get disrespectful. Tell his wife to hit you up. Who are you with your $5? What you gonna do? You're not edifying that man. Nobody wants your fucking measly handout. What you should be doing though is utilizing the information that was left behind by him to help fix your situation. That's what I would do. That's how you pay homage to the ancestors, the teachers who have become the master teachers who have become ancestors. You edify their works, or you finish their works. Dr. Sabi had a lot of work that he had put out there that he wanted people to finish. They didn't finish it. Nick Cannon didn't even finish the work of telling his whole story and whatnot. You know what I mean? He wanted people to build up villages and whatnot. Nobody's talking about that. I don't hear his children repeating what it is that he said was his mission. You know? I mean, I could go on for days, but you already know what it is. The students, there's millions of students that are running around right now. You got the information through Instagram and YouTube. You didn't even have to pay entry to go to the lecture. You didn't have to put on your you didn't even have to go buy a dashiki with the matching fucking uptowns. You didn't have to get on the highway and go and see these lectures and whatnot. You didn't have to get searched at the door. You didn't have to sit through these lectures. That work was already done. You benefited by the fact that it's online and it's in places where you could just press play. What are you going to do with the information now? That's the magic question. That's the $1,000,000 question. How are you going to become a master teacher? How are you going to become a legend? How are you going to become an icon? How are you going to stand on the shoulders of the great ones who have came through, breezed through this motherfucker and shook the mother? You leave it up to everybody that's out here on the internet. Everybody's a master teacher now. Everybody's mad deep. Everybody got the motherfucking answer. But I don't see the results of that, if that's the case. I don't see the results. Who came up with the COVID cure besides some fucking CMOS and elderberry? Who came up with the COVID cure? That was the magic fucking test. Who came up with the COVID cure? A concoction that they was running around saving lives and they could prove it and they got testimony. Who? I would like to meet that person. Watts Cali in the building. What up, Watts? What up, Watts? Everybody's a master teacher till a real one walks in the room. You damn right. You hold on.
To this day. To this day.
I couldn't have said it any better. Everybody a master teacher till a real one walks in the room. Attack of the Clones. Yeah, KT did great work. You know what I mean? KT did great work. You know, he's on the forefront. He's on the forefront. I do agree. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree with you on that one. You know? It should be more though. It should be more. If it is what it is, if it is what everybody said it is, It should be about 100 KTs doing the work and putting in that super work and saving lives. Saving lives, right? You know what I'm talking about? Saving lives. That's what's important. Because if you could save a life, then you deserve that master teacher title. I don't see too many people out here saving lives, curing AIDS and shit in 2021, helping people with herpes disappear. I know the KT is doing that religiously. You know, one candle could light 1,000. You're absolutely correct. And that is the idea. That's what I'm saying. That's why we are out here paying homage. That's why we say the names of the master teachers. We make sure to edify them. For the brothers and sisters who may have never heard of them, we make sure that we say their names so there are people in the audience who could go ahead and do their research and learn more about these people and get in and tap into these teachers and learn from these teachers. Therefore, you can teach others. Each one teach one. That's how we get better. You know, that's how we get better. That's a fact. Shout out to KT, the Arch Degree, doing wonderful work, monumental work. You know, I don't even think he gets enough credit, from this community that he deserves. But on this show, as I could see in the chat room, there's a lot of people who do honor what this brother is doing. And I really appreciate y'all for giving that brother his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Does he has testimonies of them healing? Are you just saying that? Of course he got testimonies. Of course he has testimonies. You think we just shooting from the hip? If there's somebody on this show right now that KT has helped heal, please give us a testimonial. You know, give us a testimonial. And thank you for asking, good brother. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for asking about the testimonials because that is important. You only get one or two KTs per generation, if that. Yeah. Well, KT sat at the feet of Dr. Sabi as a baby. He was a Sabi's baby. He was there more than me and Blue was there. You know, he was there more than me and Blue was there. He sat at the feet and he soaked all of that up and he ran with that and he's improved upon it. You know, was there somebody on their deathbed saved by? Of course. I mean, come on. You're saying there's a lot of frauds coming out since Sabi died? Yeah, we mentioned that a minute ago. We're identifying that. And what I did, instead of me saying his name, instead of me edifying my younger brother, what I did is I asked the audience, right? Those that are here who don't have ulterior motives. I said, yo, give me a name, put it out there. And the people spoke. It's not me. It's not me coming out of my name. It's the people speaking. Okay, that's when you know you have someone genuine when the people say it, not what Red Pill says, because I'm biased. That's my younger brother, so I'm biased. I'm gonna say his name regardless, but I'm gonna let the people say it. So the people are letting you know it's not me. You know what I'm talking about? It's not me. He's a Sabi's baby for real. You know? The people spoke. There's a lot of people who self-anoint themselves. They give themselves titles, right? They put themselves on a pedestal. You feel me? They put themselves on a pedestal and whatnot. They self-anoint themselves. They tell you what to call them. That's not what KT is doing. KT is doing the work, and he's letting the people give him the title. He's letting the people speak. There's a difference. This community has people who self-anoint themselves and put all kind of names on them, and then they make you say it. That's gas, my niggas. Yeah, they wake up out of their sleep with a new name. You know what I mean? And the people never gave him these names. It's a lot of self-anointed doctors and a whole bunch of shit. Let the people give you that title. It never changed. It been like that for the longest. Let it remain like that. Let the people speak, because the people know who the fuck is who and who's not. And I trust especially the quality of my membership, right? The quality of my membership. I trust the quality of my membership, that I know that some of the most intelligent people are amongst us. So when they speak, I listen. You know, when they speak, I listen. So there you have it. You know, and when it comes to health and wellness, that should be sacred, right? When it comes to health and wellness, that has to be sacred, because you're dealing with people's lives, their livelihood, and all kind of things. You should be ultimately qualified. So there's people out here that are buying, they're buying into certain people who are online, who just have white jackets on, and they speak a few things that people don't know, because they don't know, and they think that they think they're saying something deep, and then they get hoodwinked. You could lose your life like that. You know, you could lose your life like that. Yeah, the knuckle draggers are definitely on a Seymour's wave. You know, the knuckle draggers are definitely on the Seymour's wave. You feel me? You know, all diseases, mucus. Do y'all understand how heavy that is? It is very heavy. Liela Africa, Dr. Liela Africa. You know, salute to the OG, to the master teacher. You know, you saw a video where Dr. Sebi said from his own mouth that Dr. Ali Muhammad was talking down on him. I didn't see that video. Send me that. You know, send me that. But yeah, so we covered a few things tonight. We got into that whole BET thing. Like I said, what do you expect? You know what I mean? What do you expect? Every year we cover the BET awards, and every year it's more. It just gets, it's just, it is. What do you expect? I expected some shit to go down. You know what I mean? I expected something to go down. It was only right. Indeed. And I can't say all of that without saying salute to Mama Pill, because without Mama Pill, there would be no KT, no red pill, no blue pill. You feel me? Like, she's the foundation. She's the one who set us up. She's the one that got us here. You know what I mean? And she's the one who gets all of the glory. You know, but we still doing the work. Like, the movie is not finished. Like, we still working. We still putting in that work. We still putting up them numbers and whatnot. We still doing whatever we can do to assist our brothers and sisters that are out there, regardless of your background, your tax bracket, you know what I mean, your history and whatnot, shit like that. You know, you got red, blue, you got KT, brother Rich with his channel, all of the immense work that he's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that have been out here that have put it out there, even what Sinetta has done with his contribution and whatnot. There's a lot of people that have put out a lot of work and did a lot of things and have sacrificed a lot, did a lot of heavy lifting. They cleared the forest. They leveled the florist. They've leveled that shit. They leveled the forest and whatnot. They you know, what do they call that? Scorched and burnt the earth so new motherfucking new trees could grow. That's a fact. You know what I'm talking about? That's a Fiznain. Yeah, Professor Griff, right? One of the first OGs who accepted, you know, me and Blue Pill as scholars in 2010 and opened up for us in Atlanta. We did a lecture called Fear of a Black Planet. That was the lecture that Blue Pill was very prophetic with his Drake predictions, you know. Oh, you're a Thomas too? Dope. All right, salute all of the Thomases. Yeah, we're Thomases. That's my middle name. Oh, you wasn't here for the BET part? Whew. Yeah, you're going to have to rewind that. We went in on the BET thing, you know, and whatnot. For better or worse, Black Dot, right? My OG who made it right for me, you know what I'm saying? Who invested in my clothing line in the beginning, who also believed in me and Blue Pill, because I believe that Professor Griff believed in us, because Black Dot put in the word for us. And we're talking about a day and a time where you cannot walk out and get on no stage and talk in front of the people unless somebody who, it was almost like the mafia. You had to get co-signed. You had to get brought in by a made man or woman. You could not just, oh, I'm your teacher. I'm going to teach 100 of y'all or a few hundred of y'all and tell y'all how I feel and what. No, that was not, you would get ran out of a building. This is before the social media thing really picked up, where people could just sneak through the side door and just be anything that they want, you know, put a moniker or an avatar and just be self-anointed and then teach the people whatever they wanted. That came later on in the days. There was a day and a time where if you were standing on a stage at LIU or if any of these venues, National Black Theater, you were being brought out. You were being co-signed by somebody who basically had to answer for you. You had to be knighted, right? It was levels to this shit. It was levels to this shit. I shit you not. So to have Black Dot, to have Professor Griff, right? Two giants believe in us. You feel me? That meant a lot. No, it was in 2009, I believe. That meant a lot. A.A. Rashid was another one. You know what I mean? I remember going to CAA on a dance floor, on a visit floor, when he was doing his 10 years and whatnot for his transgressions when he was a young man who was troubled. The same way we all came from we was on the same type of shit. You know what I mean? We was all troubled. We was all going through our journey and whatnot. We were gifted, talented children who took a wrong turn. So it was a bumpy ride. and we paid for that shit. You can never, you know what I mean? The type of fucking pain that we had to go through, the loss of freedom that me, Blue, and AA and other people had to go through to get where we at right now. We suffered, my niggas. I promise you, we suffered whole nights in them jail cells trying to figure shit out. But we figured it out. He came home in '06. He hit the ground running. You know what I mean? He hit the ground running and he did what he had to do. So there's a lot of stories to be told. You know what I mean? Yeah, shout out to Professor James Small, another legend who I had the opportunity to do a lecture with. I think it was 2 years ago in Philadelphia with him, Dr. Pam Africa and whatnot. Yeah, that was fire. You're late, Hawaiian Sky, about the BET Awards. We already talked about that. You know? Yeah, shout out to Supernova. Shout out to Supernova. Yo, Didi, you the biggest hater alive right now. Like when I saw you in Harlem, you don't have the same energy. Like I gave you an interview about a year or two ago. Why was your energy not like that back then? I was mad respectful to you and I gave you an interview and we built and here you be trolling religiously. Like what is it? What's going on with you? You all right? I'm just wondering. Are you good? Brother Shabazz? Indeed, Brother Shabazz. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, another OG, who's always been respectful, who's always been 100 with me, and I've been 100 with him. I just seen him in Harlem recently. Shout out to the elder. I'm talking about DD, her. She from Jamaica. She's new in the community. You know? She's having a hard time, I guess. I don't know what it is. You know? You know when you come in and you in your angry phase or whatever, you might still be in the angry phase or something. I don't know, but let me know. Let me know what it do. Like, what is it? Because I'm just saying, I kept it a buck with you in Harlem. I kept it 100 with you. You know, I was very respectful. And to be honest with you, everybody is chilling. You know what I mean? The conversation is good, but you out there trolling. So what is it? Why mad away at the other teachers though? What are you talking about? Mad away at what teachers? You got to be clearer than that. You know? Why are you so mad at the other little speaking to the people like deaf don't deserve? Okay, now you speak in Latin. That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. Please don't come with the parables and the proverbs and whatnot. Just speak straight up English with me. You know what I mean? Just give me just, you have to be articulate in your chat. The guys who came up under the master teachers and not letting the man, please. The young gods, what the fuck are they talking? The young gods Nigga, I was a paradigm shifter. My whole crew is young gods. Are you serious? I introduce the community. I continuously introduce the community to new teachers and new scholars. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm always highlighting the new scholars and the new teachers. You know what I mean? Knock it off. Knock it off. You know what I'm talking about? To this day, I'm not stuck on my mat. I'm highlighting the newer teachers. The newer teachers. Me and Blue Pill, we still pay homage. We still stand up, even with all of the disrespect that has been shown to us, even all of the shit that these niggas try to make us eat in this community. You know what I mean? We still kept it. We still remain the twin pillars, and we still stay true to our motherfucking title and whatnot. And there's been numerous new teachers who have come through us, through our channel, through the pillars and whatnot, who we've highlighted and shined our light and stood next to and co-signed for real. No, Didi is a sister. It's not a brother. It's a sister. You know? Like, are you serious? You know what I'm talking about? It would be, it would be, that would make sense if I've never said the names. I've never edified. I've never bigged up any of these younger scholars that are out here putting up motherfucking points. I make it my business to link up with them. If you go and listen to the archives of Blog Talk Radio, your fucking head will be spinning for the amount of people who came through that show, who we put on that platform and introduced. You know what I mean? Who went on to have great careers, world changers, world changers. And I'm talking about Blog Talk days. And then later on YouTube. And then with Sonetta, even with Rich and going, come on. So you got to come better than that, sis. You got to come better than that. You the only person up here with the disrespectful energy, and I'm just trying to figure out what type of time are you on. Just want to know what type of time are you on. You feel me? I want to check your temperature and see where you at with it. Yeah, remember Rick Smith? My guy. You know, European. We done introduced Peter Moon, Richard Smith. I mean, I could go on for days, like, but I won't. I won't. But I'm not gonna sit back and not say that there's some fugazi ass niggas out here, and there's some charlatans, and there's some fuck boys that are out here running around. Nah, I'm gonna say that because it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of shit done went out of control. You know? So a gatekeeper? Am I a gatekeeper? I wonder. I would say that with the twin pillars, you know, it's not being gatekeepers, you know, the Masonic degrees, and we're not Masons, but in the Masonic degrees, the twin pillars is where the light comes through. And then on top of the twin pillars is the arch degree. So I would just say that that's the role that we play. You know, we're not gatekeepers. You know, I would say that we could be kingmakers, but nah, not gatekeepers. So yeah. You got to keep a high standard on teachers. You have to understand what the art of discernment is too. You understand? The art of discernment, you have to be able to discern. You have to be able to discern. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to discern. That's when the test comes in, right? That's when the test comes in. We gotta, what does your edification look like? What does your discernment look like? Can you see? I can see. Can you? That would be the question for everybody out there. Can you see the charlatans? Can you pick up on the ones that are not real? You don't need me to tell you who's real and who's not. You should be able to see it yourself. I would say be very wary of, first of all, be very wary of any scholar who comes amongst you who does not edify the master teachers first and foremost, and doesn't stand on the shoulders of the master teachers. Where the fuck do you come from? Who the fuck? Where did you come from? You know what I mean? Like, who taught you what you know? You start there. Start there. Who repeats? Who you is there people out here who you hear giving out information that you heard before, but they won't say, yo, big up to, Dr. Delbert Blair, because I got this information from him. Yeah, who's your OG? Because that's a telltale sign that that's somebody that might have slipped through the side door. And they don't have no one to answer to. They don't have nobody to answer to. They don't have no one to edify. They're not standing on any shoulders. They're like, it's just me. I'm here. You should be wary of that, because that's not the cycle. This cycle that we go into is that everybody is attached to someone who helped bring them where they are in this quote unquote in their in their scholarship and whatnot. You who did you sit at the feet of? YouTube, Siri, Google? And there's nothing wrong with that if that's how you got it, because different times, drastic times call for drastic measures and whatnot. There's people who, got YouTube scholarship, and I'm not knocking anybody who are plugged into the YouTube scholarship and whatnot. And I'm not saying that you can't be a teacher. I'm not saying that you can't teach the people. What I am saying, though, is that you would find it to be a lot. You would be able to, and you don't have to lock in with everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's not the requirements. You could lock in with one person. You could lock in with one master teacher or one elder and whatnot. But you should be, you should have yourself somebody who's older than you, who can help walk you through certain things, because there's going to be certain things that you need to know so you don't fall on your face and whatnot, because this shit could be very tricky. It's not what it looks like. Bobby is the only one who sourced this information. That's not true. It's not. He's not the only one. She's not the only one. Every boxer needs a good trainer. Every martial artist needs a sensei. We got to give respect. That's some of the things that are moving away from this community. That's some of the things that I see dissipating, is that the respect factor has been eroded. It's been eroded. It's been eroded. So, we just want to bring that back. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't lose anything. You actually gain when you show respect and you pay homage and whatnot, and you stand on the shoulders of those who have come before you, because I don't give a fuck who you are, how many followers you got. How many people that you feel that you've spoken to and reached out to and whatnot? Like, nobody started this shit in 2020 or 21. It was already started. I would not come into anybody's house and act like I'm the biggest baddest motherfucker who just got here and nobody came before me. I'm gonna find out who was in the building before I was here, and for those who qualify, I'm gonna say their names. I'm gonna say their names. That's very important. You know, very important. So, with that being said, you know, I feel that a show like being that we had this conversation tonight, it's only right that in the future I'm gonna bring uh maybe Blue Pill with me or another guest, or I might even open up a panel where it's about 5 or 6 of us, and we're gonna get into the history, and we're gonna give you a laundry list of names of master teachers and scholars, some known and some unknown, who have impacted not this community, the planet, and I would say the galaxy at the end of the day. They out here bringing out the starships based off of the frequencies that are rising up amongst melanated people due to the motherfucking seeds that have been planted by these scholars that are out here. Although the brother receives a lot of quote unquote uh you know controversy, you know, it would be remissive of me to say the impact of Dr. York and the students that come out of the Nuwabian experience, especially when you're in Atlanta and other places. You know what I mean? He he has to be mentioned. I remember being in Atlanta when I was running wild, like I was giving you when I was giving you the time period of 97 and 98. I remember being in the West End, and I got the flyers where they was handing out flyers talking about Officer Sims and whatnot. They were ringing the alarm. They were like, this was in 99 or 2000. And they were giving out flyers, and it was like a SOS. And they were like, yo, we're being scrutinized by the officers. It was, I remember his name, Officer Sims. That was the officer, that was the nemesis of Dr. York when they had to land in Atlanta and they were doing what they were doing. I don't know what was going on the land because I was not a part of the Nuwabian nation, nor did I visit that land. You feel me? But what I do know is that he heavily influenced a lot of the brothers and sisters of my generation who went forth and they carried out a lot of his information. Even elders that I ran into in New York and other places. I mean, whatever was going on the land, it impacted families, it impacted a lot of people on both good levels and I would say negative levels, because I ran into a lot of people that need healing. I ran into a lot of people that needed healing from that experience. So I'm not here to judge because I wasn't there. Right? But his impact is undeniable. It would be the hater, it would be hatred in my blood if I was to not acknowledge his impact and the fact that he was saying shit in his books before before it was an internet. He was calling shit out too that went ahead and came true decades later. That's a fact. Rest in peace to Prince Uriel Bey. He was a monster with it. You know? Billy Carson, you low key think he was a Nuwabian? I mean, you'd be surprised how many people was Nuwabians. You know, he planted a lot of seeds. He planted a lot of seeds, yo. You know, planted a lot of seeds. He was doing a lot of work in Atlanta. I remember being in the West End before they ran down on H. Rap Brown, and I remember what he was doing in the West End. I remember his impact in the West End, where they had the Muslim community and whatnot. And the West End was basically they cleaned the West End up of all of the drug dealers. You remember that? Is Dr. York still locked up? Yeah, what you think? You think he got pardoned or something? Yeah, he was locked up. The New York, yeah, the New York rappers. The New York rappers. You know, it's undeniable. It's undeniable the impact that he had on the rappers, and a lot of brothers in the streets. His information, like you'll have these days, there's street people that are latched on to the information. Like there's niggas in the trenches, like I was saying earlier. They resonate with certain teachers because of the teachers speak their language and they could feel their energy and they could see something familiar in them. He had that type of energy with the trenches and a lot of the hustlers and the gangsters and a lot of people. When I was a young child, when I was like 12 and 13, my son's age, my OGs handed me a pamphlet, right? They used to listen to Farrakhan cassettes, and they used to have the tablets and the pamphlets of Malachi Z. York. These were hood niggas with righteous names. They had righteous names. I remember the brother Life, Science, Prince. There was a bunch of god bodies in my hood in Flatbush who was running things, and they were enlightened by Dr. York, and they were enlightened by Farrakhan, and they were also enlightened by the militancy of my good brother Khalid Muhammad and whatnot. Yeah, Jay-Z and all of that. It's a few of them. When Nas was on his York shit, you know what I'm saying? It was a few of them. AZ, that's right. You know what I mean? And when the Ansar Allah, Doctor what's his name? KMD, you know what I mean? MF Doom, Dr. Yarkers from Marcy. Okay. I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? Dr. Love. You know? Dr. Love. He had a heavy impact on I'm talking about the hood though. Not the Poindexters. The hood. The hood. The trenches, the gutter. The gutter. They was on them books. They was out. They knew shit before a lot of these woke niggas knew anything. They was the first ones with the information and the motherfucking teachings and whatnot. Did they cultivate it? What did they do with it? And things of that nature that remains to be known and seen. You gotta ask them. But they had the information. You know what I'm saying? They had the information. They had they was ahead of their time because they had the information. They were consciously aware. This nigga had their third eyes open. Prodigy is exactly correct. That's not a rumor. Jazzo was was a Nubian and he was with Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z is definitely inspired by Dr. York. You know? So like I said, we'll get into it. We'll have a show. We'll get you more information because it sounds good coming from me, but we're going to bring multiple people through so you could really hear a panel of us giving the right information because I owe it to y'all, the ones who are willing to learn, the ones who are new to this, the ones who want to learn the correct history so you could do the proper research and you could backtrack, and when there's conversations taking place, you could correct people when they're erroneous and wrong. Jay-Z isn't a Nubian. Nobody said that he was a Nubian. What I said that he was around the Ansar Law community when they were in Brooklyn because Jazz O, all right, Jazz O of Hawaiian Sophie fame, Jazz O was directly linked. Okay, so there's pictures with Jay-Z and Jazzo around the community back in the days. That's not even a rumor. That's a fact. That's a Snapple fact. Okay? You know what I mean? So, like I said, with that being said, Jay-Z is a Prince Hall Mason. And Jay-Z's a lot of things. You know what I'm talking about? Jay-Z is a lot of things. I just hope Jay-Z don't have real estate inside of your head. You know? He had a studio in the side. That's right. He was Dr. Love. He has a spot in Bushwick in Brooklyn. That was his YBN spot. So going back to what I was saying, Jazzo was sitting in on Bobby lectures. Yeah. Come on, man. A whole bunch. I mean, Guru, his engineer, used to be at the lectures with us. Jay-Z's engineer, Guru, the one who's in. If anybody's in a rap, has a rap career, you know how important the motherfucking engineer is. The engineer is right there with you in the stoop. He's the one that mixes down all of Jay-Z's music. He's plugged in. So if he's plugged in, guess who else may be plugged in? So going back to what I was saying, Dr. York taught Jay-Z, Queen Latifah, and LL. You know what I mean? Y'all, I don't see how y'all find a lot of this to be, unbelievable. Because if you're looking at hip hop through a lens of how you see it now, and you're not allowing your minds to drift to a place that hip hop where hip hop was before it was infiltrated and commercialized and taken into a lot of the places where it is now. You know what I mean? Because you might not have been there, but no worries about that, because the people who were there are still alive in order to tell these stories. These are stories that VH1 will not tell you. You're not going to hear about this on the Hip Hop Honors. You're not going to hear about this on a Netflix series where they have moist niggas running around telling the stories of hip hop. You're not going to get this type of insight in the commercial realm. This is what you're going to get inside of realms like this, because we're allowed to speak the truth and we're not intoxicated and our fucking brain cells are not burnt up to the degree where we don't remember shit. You know what I mean? We could still tap in to our memory banks. You know what I mean? And that's one of the benefits of the walk that I walk, is because I walk through many different worlds. I walk through many different time periods and many different eras. I didn't walk through them all, but the eras and the time periods that I walked through, I'm able to speak from experience. It's a difference between experience and what the fuck Google is feeding you. Okay? It's two different, you know what I mean? It hit differently. You know what I mean? It hit differently. It's different. You know? You want to know what's the real story behind the children. I'm not the children and I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not the children and I don't know. That's one thing that I can't speak on because I wasn't there for that. You know what I'm saying? I told you that I wasn't on that land in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta, but I wasn't on the land. So we would have to bring somebody on the show who was on the land, who could speak about what was going on the land. But outside of what that is, I know his influence through the pamphlets. He put out hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of books. I remember reading the Holy Tabernacles when I was in boot camp. I had to sneak to read the shit. I would read like 2 pages a day. The shit blew my mind. I'm talking about it completely opened up my mind in ways that no other book had opened up my mind before. You know? Do I care? Of course I care what happened. You know what I mean? Of course I care. We've actively helped to heal some of the people. Like I said earlier, there's people who came off of that land that needed healing. And fortunately enough, they were able to come across Mama Pill and some of the healers in the community, or some of the helpers in the community who help assist some of the people who went through some shit on the land. Okay. So, but there's people in the streets that got fucked over just going through life. There's people who came out of the jail system who needed help. There's people who came out of the gangs that needed help. There's people who came out of the armed forces that was fucked up that needed help. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that need help. So we here to help the people. There's one thing that I want to show y'all. I've been watching this shit right here. This is a mind blower. Who saw this? Oh my goodness. My goodness. Ain't you from Jamaica, Dee? Right? You from Jamaica. This is an interesting story about the DC sniper, right? Both of them was Bati boys. You know what I'm talking about? This man right here, he took advantage of this young man right here, Lee Malvo. He was LBGT, and so was he. This young man is from Jamaica. The shooter was from Jamaica. He was like 15 and whatnot. This story is crazy. It's on Vice. You know what I mean? I've been watching that whole shit, and that blew my mind. You know, they was in a homosexual relationship, and he had him shooting pregnant women. He had him shooting children. He had him shooting mad innocent people because he was mad because he had his children snatched from him in family court. So he was like, he wanted everybody, he wanted the whole world to pay. You know what I'm saying? He kind of snapped. He came out of the army and shit. His wife said, or his ex-wife said, before he went to the armed services, he was a upright man. You know, he was an upright man. And after he came back from Desert Storm, he was in Desert Storm, the first one with Papa Bush, not the second one with not the one with Short Bush, with the Short Bus Bush. You know, not George W, not him. The first one, right? And he came back and he wasn't never the same. So this young man, Lee Malvo, needed a father. He didn't have a father. His mother abused him in Jamaica, and then he was homeless for a while and whatnot. And the documentary is told from Lee Malvo's point of view, right? He did 3 tours as a sniper. The bro, Lee Malvo, the shooter, the actual sniper, he's telling on himself. He's telling the story. You know what I mean? He's telling the story. You feel me? It's coming from his own testimony. And he's basically laying it out. They was robbing mad people and then they started killing them. He taught them how to shoot and be a sniper, right? And then they revealed in the middle of the documentary, because this wasn't revealed in the beginning, that they was in a relationship. You know what I mean? Lee Malvo was like at 5 years old that he knew that something was, different about him. But he was in Jamaica, and in Jamaica you can't really, come out the closet like that because they'll boom bye you. And Lee Malvo shared that with this dude who was in the NOI. He was a LBGT NOI. He was John Muhammad. John Williams is his government, but he became Nation of Islam. But he also had, he had those tendencies and whatnot. So he began to do what? Trauma. He used trauma, and he used the same type of things that he used, basically sexual domination, through sexual deviancy, but sexual dominance to control this young man. You feel me? They say it was MK Ultra. Yeah, it does sound like MK Ultra. But I feel that he got flipped. You know what I mean? He got the MK Ultra treatment because there was an incident. They said that he basically set off a grenade and he got honorably discharged. So it's to my understanding that something happened to him when they took him, because they basically found him not guilty and they sent him home. But the time in between that they took him out of the camp and when they found him not guilty, I feel is the time that they buck broke him. That's when they broke him. I feel that that's when the MK Ultra shit took place because he basically was on his angry black man shit. They was like he didn't like white people. He didn't like the authority and whatnot. So the same way that they have white supremacists or white race soldiers in the armed forces, they also have gangbangers, and they also have brothers who don't particularly take to Europeans yelling in their face and bossing up on them and whatnot. So he was one of those people, and he basically snapped. He basically tried to throw a grenade and whatnot, and he didn't do it where he got caught. They locked him up, but couldn't prove that it was him. So when they let him come home, his wife was like, he was on some completely different type of time and whatnot. And she got scared, and he ran off with the children, and then family court caught up to him. They took the children, and then he snapped, and he was like, I'm gonna kill my wife. But before I kill my wife, I'm gonna terrorize America for what they did to me. Everybody gotta pay. This shit is deep. I remember living through this shit. This nigga had America in a Cobra clutch for a minute. They had him in a headlock. You feel me? They had him in a headlock. Niggas was shook. They was shook. You didn't know where it was coming from. He fit the description of the same dude who they say killed Biggie. Well born. There's a documentary that's out recently, and they're refuting that story about Amir Muhammad and whatnot. They're like, that shit was made up. It was like that was made up. Yeah, people was on afraid on the highways. See, I might not remember that. Some of y'all wasn't even in America at that time. You was here, Didi? Was you here? People wasn't even here. But I'm here to let you know that the shit had people shaking in their boots. He had a grip on America for a few weeks, my nigga. Promise you. So this is on Vice. It's like 7 series, it's 7 parts and whatnot. Shit is deep, you know. Yeah, the white van. They had to look out for the white van, but the whole time it was a blue Capri. It was a blue Capri. You know, I think Bobby Hemmett did a lecture on that. One of the teachers had did a lecture. It might have been Steve Coakley, and they were kind of saying that some of that he was doing hits and whatnot. There's some conversation that was going on. I'm gonna have to dig a little bit deeper and whatnot. You know what I mean? I want to also leave you with this.
So I was reading an online article to which I came across something that I didn't know about Gloria. It talks about Gloria's new book, My Life on the Road, recounting her life journeys and travels, but look at the bottom paragraph. What is often missed or mischaracterized, however, is the work she did as a CIA agent. Steinem was a spook. Confused, I decided to dig a little deeper. Black feminism, the CIA, and Gloria Steinem. What follows is a fact sheet about Gloria Steinem's operations against the various social and political movements in America, particularly her role in creating a hateful and virulent strain of black feminism that attacks black men while partnering with the white establishment. Steinem came across the radar of black men when she created a book called Black Macho, The Myth of the Superwoman by Michelle Wallace on the cover of Miss Magazine, which she controlled. Let's read on. The book was written by a black feminist and activist, quote unquote.
It's hard for you to hear it.
Came out of nowhere.
Okay, don't worry about that. It's on my Instagram page, Phil_Moreland, just like that. But that's a very interesting video that I have up there. It tells about the history of black feminism and Gloria Steinem for the young students out there who are not aware of the CIA's implication in black feminism and the shit that we saw on BET last night. The shit that got us to where we at right now, where they're applauding sexual deviancy in all forms and whatnot, and they're applauding dysfunctional mental health issues and shit like that. Is you'll get to understand when it really started, when the Black Power movement was infiltrated by the CEA through Gloria Steinem and other factions and whatnot, and they began to program. They began to program, and the chat wants me to start the video over. I mean, if you can't hear it, it doesn't make sense. There's something, with the volume and whatnot. I want you to be able to hear it. I would want you to be able to hear it. So if you can, just go over to the YouTube, go over to the Instagram and check it out. It's on my page. It's the first video that's up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, with that being said, I'm out of here. I'll be back Thursday, maybe Wednesday with Blue Pill. You know what I mean? We have to catch up. His schedule is mad busy. I'm gonna be in New York City at the International African Arts Festival Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Rain, sleet, or snow. They said it's gonna be raining, but we'll still be out there. Pull up. Kareem, what up? Pull up. Come and shop with us. You know what I'm saying? Come and support us. If you don't want to shop and support, just come and say hi. I'll be on the field by the Africans, where the Africans be at on the field. I'll be in that area. And I look forward to seeing all of my brothers and sisters from the tri-state, New York City. We back outside. The city is opened up. Somebody said the city already opened up, but I was just out there. The city is opened up when niggas don't have to wear face diapers. That's my thing. I mean, when is that going to come? But I look forward to seeing a lot of the people in the city because I haven't seen y'all for like a year and change and shit. So it's going to be interesting. So, yeah, that part. All right. I see you out there, Jefferson. Salute to you. Love and light to the family. Let's end with a song. What song you want to hear, D? Give me a song off of the Red Summer. You know that album? Or maybe Scorpion King? I'm taking requests. Yeah, I don't want to go either, but it's 3 hours and change. It's 3 hours and change. You know what I'm saying? We put in a lot of work tonight. Yeah, hit that Cash App up. You know what I'm saying? Leave a tip. Sherman Hemsley, it is. There you have it, y'all. Sherman Hemsley. I'll see y'all later, y'all. Peace.
It's so magnetic. It was recognized as ultra. They weaponized the culture. They recognized the vultures. Blue pillar. It's so magnetic. KT the arch. It was recognized as ultra. Kambada. They weaponized the culture. We went from Eugene Adams, searching for the blacks in China, to searching through these back pages for some black China and some black vagina. We went from the UNIA and the Black Starliners to some black Masons, black Shriners, buying crack from the miners. Went from dapper damn black designers to some Gucci turtlenecks, black face reminders. Was moving on up, Sherman Helmsley. But the shooters is shooting on up. There's nightmares on Elm Street. Computers and they booting on up. I'm dream chasing through the Jason months. As above, so below. We was adjacent once. Rethink your fears. They drank your tears. While you waking up for delinquent years, the distinctive years, crack pays, black rage, Beanie Siegel backstage, state property, crack cage, hell up in Harlem, the black plagues, Luke Cage, going through his crack rage, captured, bulletproof zombies, raptured, toothless blondies, carving a piece, ruthless Gandhi, starving for peace, no disguise for the vulture's eyes. Most survive, but they cultures die. Look at Scarface through social eyes. Approach the guys and get posterized. Or dropped into acid, emulsified. All of your media is socialized. When they see us and they start acting goofy, we smacking koofies, they bad and bougie. I'm a timeless royal, times of turmoil. Phyllis Thomas on Thomas Boyle.